think I just don't want to let him down. And now it's just about, got some great people up here, and I just want to see those guys have that success as well.
I know blokes in the past, like Mardo did a pretty good job, Stuffer did a pretty good job, but probably the premier bloke at Bellpost Hill in the dynasty was Brent Gergich. Did you actually get anything from what he did with you when you were playing?
Yeah, like what I got from Gerge was it takes a big group to win it, and there's no secret formula, mate. It's just hard work, committing to each other. Probably the most important thing is giving guys roles. You know, he turned guys that were average footballers in the twos to gun senior players by just giving them roles, and I think it's really valuable. And a lot of other coaches would just focus on their top 10 players, but he was more the whole group.
Yeah, and you do that too, obviously.
Yeah,
try to anyway.
Yeah, that's right. No, definitely. I think because I've been around footy a while now as well, and you know, I've obviously been lucky enough to see what works and what doesn't, and that's why you got to be, mate. You need everyone playing their role. Yeah,
well, it would have been nice to have Bowie Collins and Brock Carter and Gray playing their role, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Now, this is more of a statement than a question. I'll get into a question, but a lot of people have said over the year, Bellpost Hill, too old, St Albans, too slow. I had a look through the list. All right, McNamara, Whitney, Costello, Barton, Basley and Page. Right, they're getting old.
All guns.
But Vasurka, Flacavento, Andrews, Miller, Quinn, Jones, Sable, Burney, Staggard, Kerrins, or Jay Netcher. He's only 27, 28. So all these blokes, the young bloke, you've actually got more younger middle-range blokes than old blokes. So that's just, I know it's just a myth, right? That's the statement. The question is, I just watched the under-16s play out here against Anglesea. Will they get players to come up from there so we can have an under-18 side of Bellpost Hill next year?
I'm not sure on next year, but we come from no juniors and now we've got over 200 up here altogether. So all the age groups right up to under-16s. So the junior committee and the club's done a massive effort. Obviously we identified it a few years ago that was, I think in our first premiership we had 17 guys play junior footy up here. So
yes, yeah.
We've been recruiting pretty smart the last few years, just getting guys in that good age group as well to build again. It's not just putting all our eggs into 1 year and trying to get one flag.
Yeah.
I want to have another 10-year period where we're contending.
And with points, if we get an under-18 side next year or the year after, get a few good players out of there, and it saves a lot of points for later on trying to bring people in when you've already got them here.
Yeah, well, it does make it tough for the point system, but I think it's good.
Yeah.
You know,
the other bloke I had in mind, do you have to say anything to Jack Yates? Because I said it when we did our review 2 weeks ago. I think he's the best captain in the competition. But just by the way he goes about it, he'll run in and rough a bloke up when need be, fairly and hard without getting any sort of trouble. And he's just a captain's captain. Did you have to actually say anything to him? He just goes and does it.
He's unbelievable, mate. You know, he's had to follow Brad Martin, Joel Page, and Cam Addy, three of the greatest captains I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And there would have been a lot of pressure on him, and he's a lot younger than those guys as well.
Yeah.
And he's right in that conversation with them.
Oh, well,
and,
you betcha he is.
You guys see what he does on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But I see what he does during the week.
Yeah.
And he's unbelievable, mate.
Well, that was part of the question because we don't see what happens during the week and that. But
Yep.
probably the only one for me left is you haven't won a flag for a couple of years now after the dynasty. Is it Atchie holding you back? Well, if you get rid of Atchie, do you think you can win it from there?
100%.
Because he's got no idea. You know that.
No, Atchie's a good man, mate. He's been a big part of it. He's a great man, and we're lucky to have him up here.
Justin, I want to talk to you about your own character. Many thought when you started this job that you, being a very emotional character, might struggle with dealing with that player management.
Who told you that?
Just a word coming back. You seem to have managed that pretty well. So your own transformation from player to coach, there's obviously been a lot of hard work you've had to do. How have you managed that?
Early days, probably just feedback from my mates that were still playing here, and just having that willingness to learn. You know, I was only appointed to the job because we couldn't find anybody. And just I ask our players to continually improve and constant feedback on what they need to work, but that includes myself as well. So listening to what I needed to work on and not just listening to what they say and doing nothing about it, but if I needed to change a few things, then I did that.
How did you go, though, just backing up when you really wanted to explode sometimes, but just realised that, no, I've got to do this differently? Was it really hard to challenge yourself?
Not really, mate. I think I knew what I was getting in for. You know, where the sides that we've had the last few since I've been coach aren't those premiership sides. We're building to that. We're not there yet. But in saying that, you know, those sides from that 10 years, no one's seen the likes of that, I don't think. For a
Or
long
ever
time,
will again.
consistent. So, exactly. And, you know, early days, we've had such high standards up here, and we're comparing the sides that I've got to those sides. And I think it's a bit silly, but we're really building. I think massive test for the guys today. You know, if we want to win a flag, then this is another step, and then there's, you know, it goes up levels after this. So
Years ago,
hang on.
coaching.
What he's saying is, have you done your block and given a few sprays? That's what he's getting at.
a couple, mate. I reckon it'd be one a year. But
It's needed.
we've got when needed, exactly.
Yeah,
You know, if you
yeah.
keep doing it, you keep doing it. That you get nothing out of it. We had a young group when I first started too, so you're spraying a young group that's not quite ready, they're not going to get anything out of it. It's more, to be honest, the experienced blokes that know better, that if they're, it's just, you know, give them a reminder sometimes. But I'm very lucky, mate. We've got an awesome group up here, great leaders, really heading in the right direction.
With just going back to Jack, do you involve him? Obviously, does he go through match reviews with you or the game reviews and have an input to that, or is he just more assistant with you at training Tuesday, Thursday?
No, he does a little bit, and it's more so, you know, if you don't want to be a dictator coach where you're sitting up there the whole time, this is what we need to do, you've got to be doing this. If you can get it player driven,
Yep.
so that's where he comes in handy. You know, it might be an individual player, might be a team thing. I'll have the conversation with him, and then he'll address that person or address a group, and I think it carries a little bit more weight sometimes, you know, just the way he plays.
Just someone different telling the same thing.
Yeah,
basically,
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
but because it's him and the way he plays and what he does during the week,
Yep.
you know, if he asks you to do something, you will
Yeah,
be doing
yeah.
it.
Well, I know you asked that because we were talking to Ronnie Pilgrim about Jack Bowman a couple of weeks
Yep.
back, and
Same
the-
thing.
this-
like,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He lets Jack do most of it, but if
Yeah.
he sees something that he's not happy with, he'll come in and bang, done, and they seem to come back on track. And I
Yeah,
reckon Jack
it's a
would be the
mix.
same sort of.
Yeah, well, Jack Brown's got more experience as well.
Oh yeah,
but
but I was just saying, Jack Yates, he'd be the type
Yep.
of bloke that respect that I reckon the group have for him,
100%.
as you said before, and I think that would apply here. You
Yep.
can stand back and watch, and if you don't think something's right, then it's my turn to say a little bit and
Yep.
walk away.
100%.
The game's become very scientific. How do you enjoy the video reviews and the analysis of opposition tactics and individual players for matchups and stuff to talk about your
Yep.
roles for your individuals? How do you enjoy
Yep.
that?
But to be honest, I think early days I got was overcoaching players and getting into it a little bit too much, and then, you know, we still are only playing GDFL footy, and you can overcomplicate things. And footy's not a complicated game, I don't think. I just think you can make it complicated. So just simplifying with the boys. If there's something that's really been standing out over a block, we'll do some video review and say, listen, this is what's happening, this is what we need to do. But it's not a constant thing. And to be honest, still with this young group, it's more about what we can do. We don't focus on the opposition heaps, like maybe as much as other clubs. It's just let's play our best footy, let's do what we do well, and see where it takes us.
Well, we watched a game last week where neither side had a ruckman, and we saw it played differently. You have struggled all year to find someone to dominate that, but you've managed. Is that part of that coaching analysis stuff of what to do around those stoppages when you know you're not going to control them with a ruckman?
Yeah, definitely. We'll be up against it today in the ruck as well. We'll have undersized ruckman again as well. I dare say Thomson will be probably getting first use all game, so it's a massive challenge for our ballers. But Dill Whitney, Matt James, Jordan Sable, Jack Yates, we're in pretty good hands in there. So
You've got plenty of good names.
yeah, it's,
Well, talking about names, it must be a lot easier job as a coach at Belpost Hill when not only the good players, but Pagey, Dill Whitney, Cozzy, Cubby Basley, they're all ripping blokes.
I know, exactly.
So it's a lot easier to coach good blokes that they'll just do what you say. And I mean, you walk past here, there you go, mate. They're just terrific blokes. It'd make the job a lot easier, wouldn't it?
good people make a good club, mate.
Yep.
There's no secret to that. There's no, like I said before, there's no secret, and there's nobody should be shocked that those calibre of people have had the careers that they've had. It's number one, they're just a good person. People gravitate to them, but you always recruit players here because we've got great people here, and the people want to be a part of it.
Well, exactly. And the ones that weren't great, like Graham Lewis, he's chucked out.
Yeah, so you're
But,
great.
you couldn't have a conversation without mentioning Billy McAuliffe. I know he'd have you back and everything, but he's, again, one of the greatest blokes you'll ever meet in GDFL footy.
Greatest bloke, mate. I've known Billy probably for 20-something years now, and he's just, always been there, not just for me, but for everyone.
Yeah.
And, I was on the committee for a year, and just even as a coach, just wanted to jump on just to see what was involved behind the scenes. And, geez, not just Billy, but the people, I say to the players, we get the fun part, we get to go out and play footy with our mates. It's enjoyable. They get the hard work, volunteering. What do they get out of it? They do it because they love the group.
Yeah.
So just can't stress that enough to our players, that it's not just them that's out there. We represent guys like Billy McAuliffe all the time.
Well, talking about Billy, have you ever actually said to him, Billy, at your age, get rid of the ponytail?
Billy's his own man, mate. Billy doesn't really talk that much, to be honest with you. He's looking good for his age.
But you've always been lucky. Like, I know I bag Graham Lewis, but he did a lot of work around here. Kari was inspirational,
Yep.
and even Jeff McClure and some of these blokes. So you've always been pretty handy with blokes behind running the club.
Yeah, like all clubs, mate. Like the people behind the scenes, and I don't think they get enough credit as much as they should. And it's so hard what they do.
Oh, yeah.
And I appreciate it now. I sort of said, always making sure that, especially the senior group, because they represent the entire club.
Yes, they do.
To know what goes on behind the scenes.
Just on that theme of good blokes, I know one of the recruiting tactics is used a lot when you go to interview a player, when you take one of the current senior players with you, or more than one of them, to actually give a lived experience of what the club's like. Is that something you already do, or you'd probably engage with? Yep.
Yeah, we do that. Swap it around a little bit. Caleb Basley's came to a few with me. He's been good. Small, Joel Page and Zil Whitney, they'll call the guy and have a good chat to him, just say, we'd love to have you and stuff like that. I think
it's a huge asset, isn't it, when you've got
Yeah.
players of that quality buying into
Yeah.
what the club's about.
That's right, and especially the guys that have been around a long time, they've got that respect. So I think, we're trying to get 40 across, and Yatesy was giving him a call. I think carries a bit of weight. So
Well, you notice when I said good blokes, I never mentioned Tony Dozen.
You never miss a chance, do you, Richard?
best
I just saw him walk past. I'll get him here.
Tony's a great man, mate. As well, he's like Billy McAuliffe. The club wouldn't be what it is today without him. So
Mate, I bet you if you're losing today, Tony Dozen nicks off.
it'll be umpire's fault if you ask Tony.
No, he'll get in his car and go, I promise you.
He'll be here. He'll be here.
No
after
way,
the game.
he's going up the Murray just after half time.
One of his 8 houses. There.
So today, we all know it's important. It's not the end of the world for you if you don't win. I think you've got a probably better chance in Thomson of recovering. But to set you up for a serious tilt, today is a big one.
Oh, it's a massive game, result-wise and in terms of the season. But I just told our boys, just focus, narrow your focus. Worry about playing our best footy, contest to contest. Don't think about the result. Just narrow it down, quarter by quarter. Just focus on what we need to do. If we can do that, play our brand of footy, be desperate. If we play 4 quarters of our best footy in Thomson win, I told our guys, shake their hand and say well done, because you deserve it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the McLeod boys aren't playing, and they're always, you've got to sort of formulate a plan for them. One of the blokes that is Nathan Freeman, who just sneaks out and goes bang, bang, bang and can win a game. Have you got a plan for him, or are you just natural?
Yeah, got a plan for him.
Good. Don't tell me, because I'll go and tell him.
Is Nathan Dan's
That's
brother?
okay.
Is Nathan Dan's brother?
Who?
Nathan.
Who's that?
Nathan Freeman.
Dan Freeman you're talking about?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
What
Dan
else?
Freeman.
That little bloke that kicks a lot of goals, that's the one you meant.
No, he's a very good player, mate. I'm happy to say, Josh Andrews will get the first crack at him. He's a great defender, and that'll be a good battle. He's a big game player as well, Freeman. So
Yeah, he is.
they got a lot of good players.
Yeah,
so.
he can turn the game pretty quickly. Just
So
going
Nathan.
back, the 2 blokes that Grubby mentioned earlier on gone up north. Are they likely to come back next year, or are they up there for good now, or is it?
Brock Carter's loving it, and the problem is they're playing awesome footy up there, and they've already had about 30 clubs.
Oh,
thrown up,
okay.
and
They made the interleague side.
Yeah, no, someone said that. I
Yeah.
just thought it was just a 12-month venture they were disappeared for, or
Well, does
I'm
it
not
work?
a-
Or?
Yeah, well, it's just more of a lifestyle thing. They're young, didn't have partners, got no kids.
do it while you can.
Got a good job offer, commercial plumbing and building and stuff like that, and days like this as well, wouldn't mind going up there myself. So
well, as I say, as much as it's probably hurt you a little bit,
Yeah.
you've still got to say good on you, all the best.
yeah, that's right, mate. It can't be understated. They're such a massive loss. You put those 2 guys into our side, make a massive difference. But
Especially the big bloke, yeah.
you don't. You got no choice but to move on, mate.
Yeah,
What
well, I
can
don't
you
know
do?
about especially the big bloke. The other bloke won the
Oh,
the
yeah, I'm
medal
just
by
saying.
5 votes.
But under current circumstance, when you go to
when
finals,
you need a
club,
ruckman,
yes,
I know, but
yes.
I did hear a rumour that they would be back next year, but they got a job in Werribee, so they might finish up playing with Werribee.
That's one thing I could tell you. Definitely won't be worried.
Tari, thank you very much. We'll let you go and get the boys ready. We are genuinely excited about this.
Me too.
Don't profess to be as excited as what you must be internally, but
I am.
yeah, it's a ripper one. A lot of pride in both sides and a lot of history in both sides. So all the very best. Look forward to seeing you after the game.
Thanks, boys.
Good on you.
Good call.
Thanks very much, Tariq.
Thanks, Barry.
Justin Tarr, coach of the Bellpost Hill Football Club. We'll go back to
Thanks,
the
mate.
studio
Good
to you, Alan.
Good luck,
Clear a
buddy.
few
Good luck.
sponsorship announcements, and then we'll come back and tear this round to pieces, as they say. This is Pulse Radio, GDFL, your home of local football.
The first quarter, brought to you by Common Defane Hotel.
We're back here at Bellpost Hill, match of the day, and it is a ripper, 5 versus 6. It might be curtains for the loser, so there's a fair bit of importance on the game. We're not quite up to start time. We're still in the last quarter reserve grade game where Thomson lead 10-14-74. Bellpost Hill are 1-3-9. We've got 5 other games to look at in the GDFL this weekend before we get to our match of the day. And we'll go straight up the highway to Grubby's favourite little haven, the Werribee Centrals Football Club. Have had an up and down, mainly down year due to lots of injuries and COVID and things. They take on the league leaders. They'll be looking forward to the challenge. Will they be up to it though, Grubby?
No, they won't be. But I think I sort of studied a bit of their videos over the last couple of weeks, and I think the type of footy they're playing is stop football. They're just trying to make sure that they don't get beat by too much without actually ever putting themselves in a chance to win a game. Although they did it against Thomson and it got to the front, then lost by 3 or 4 goals. Only lost by but 7 goals at East last week, which is a pretty good effort. But They're probably not giving themselves a chance to win the game, but I don't think they've got a chance to win games like this anyway. A couple of points down at half-time in round one against Inverleigh and then got belted after that. And Donahue was actually pretty happy with the way Werribee played. I think the good thing is they've actually played a lot better footy without getting their players back. I think I said that last week. They're getting some of their kids and juniors, under 18s, under 16s, and they've actually steadily got better. So that goes well, hopefully, for the future, for next year. I said this morning, poor old Prismal's a bit stiff. He comes in his first year as coach and gets 16 of the first 22 blokes out of your first size not playing. So he'll get another crack at it next year, hopefully with a few recruits, a few juniors and all that sort of stuff. But Inverleigh at the moment are on top. Whether they stay on top, we'll know in, I think it's 3 weeks. And we'll see who gets top position then. But they're, at the moment, I think they're my favourites, only just over East Geelong. And Werribee might play okay against them for a while, but I think Inverleigh will have a pretty good win.
What do you reckon, Dale?
I don't think I can change anything. What Grubby just said, as I said, I'm not too sure of the ins for Inverleigh this week. I know there's a few still coming back. We mentioned a couple of weeks back, Nathan Mays, Manganelli was another one. Circuit played his first game in the seconds last week, so I would think at some stage they will bring him up. Now, whether that's today again, I can't tell you because I didn't see any teams listed. But they are playing some pretty good football, and Werribee, as I said, they have struggled most of the season, and they'll find it a little bit hard up there this afternoon as well. So I think Inverleigh will win and win it comfortably.
Grubby, question without notice. You've watched Werribee on video a bit. We've talked about the possibility of Joel Bennett polling well enough in a side that's only won one game to pinch the Whitley medal. What about Tyler Crennan?
He's the only one, and I think
he's been in their best 3 every week.
Yeah, I think, and he's been their best one quite a few. The only time he wasn't in their best one is when they finally got Jesse Patterson fit, who's probably as good a player, if not better, than Tyler. But they haven't won enough games, and I think he gets overlooked a bit. He's not as spectacular as Joel Bennett. Joel Bennett can get votes in a losing side. I don't think Tyler will, but I think he'll win their best and fairest by a long, long way.
Yeah.
And hopefully he goes around again next year if they can get stronger, and he'll go even better. But no, he can't poll enough votes to win it like Joel Bennett can, but he's been a real good player for them.
He's not a carrier of the ball like Joel is. He doesn't get the ball, run, carry, and kick long. So he's just a, as I said, from Werribee's point of view, he's probably the first bloke they pick every week.
Yes,
because you know what you're going to get from him. So I think he will find it hard as well. But as I said, he deserves. If he's probably going to give the vote to the opposition side, he probably gets 1-0 every week that he goes out there.
I reckon 6 to 9 for the year. Yep. That'll be a good return.
Yep. Speaking of Joel Bennett, Corio travelled to North Geelong, and they're a real chance here, I reckon. What do you think? Well,
I would have thought so, but last week they were probably a little bit disappointing for me. Their score, I don't think, was that great. And obviously they were playing Bannockburn, and we know where they're at this stage.
They defended pretty well. Bannockburn only kicked 12 goals, 17. Corio kicked 4-6. So I think to keep Bannockburn to 12 goals is a pretty good effort, but
but
only
obviously,
muster 4.
What happened to the other 17 though, Rob? They've had 29 shots at goal. They're still having 29 shots at goal. So, look, they need to play really good football. And, as I said, now I think North Geelong have started to play some better football themselves. So, this will be a really good game of football. And it's at Corio, isn't it?
No, it's at North.
Oh, North Geelong. Okay. Well, because it's at North Geelong, I think North Geelong will win this game of footy. Had it been at Corio, I reckon they would have been able to put up a really good effort, and then they probably would have won. But I think just the way I've seen North Geelong over the last couple of weeks, I think they're just starting to play an improved game of football, and hopefully they can have another win out there this afternoon.
Well, last week North Geelong conceded 20 goals, 10 from Inverleigh. They kicked 7-7 themselves, so a little bit more productive in the forward line than Corio, but they still leaked 30 shots at goal. Grubby, any chance?
I'm ready to go. You just talk the greatest lot of shit I've ever heard in my life.
What?
Corio was a fantastic effort against Bannockburn. I don't care what you say.
12-17. They've had 29,
That's good defensive work.
Oh.
And North Geelong have got beat by 13 goals. So what rubbish are you talking? I can't believe that. But I can tell you now that the class difference, unfortunately, between the bottom two sides is still there. Even if North Geelong aren't having a great year, they'll probably be too strong for Corio at North.
Just quickly, Thomson's reserves coach, Paul Kinnambra, is absent today with medical issues. He wants a score update, so I'll just repeat again. Thomson 10-14-74, Bellpost Hill 2-4-16. Your team's going better without your Kinner. Stay in bed. Is that a bit harsh?
What's he, COVID, Brown, is he?
No, he's got a medical condition. We'll leave it at that. It might be COVID. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's plenty of that going around again.
Corio, any chance to beat North Geelong? No. Richard? None. Okay, so let's.
Everyone's a chance, I suppose.
Yeah, look, until the game gets going. But as I said, if it's at Corio, probably you give him a bit more of a show. But I think North Geelong, yeah.
I reckon the most inconsistent team in the competition is the Belmont Lions. They host East Geelong today, and it's on their own pile, so they might go better. But gee, they've been frustrating.
Well, they have. They've been up and down. As I say, I watched that video against Werribee. They were really, really bad against Werribee. Who they beat? They beat Thomson.
Yes.
And then they come out here and got thrashed last week. I owe the Belmont Lions committee a bit of an apology too. I was a bit annoyed with them for advertising young Bissett's job and all that sort of stuff, and I thought they wanted to get rid of him, and I thought he's doing a fantastic job out there. But it turns out that they offered him a 2-year contract, and he said no, he only wanted 1 year. So the committee have got to do what they've got to do. So anything I actually didn't say anything, but I thought it. So to the Belmont Lions, I agree with what they're doing now, because they offer you a 2-year contract, you grab it unless he's got something else planned. But I think he's done a great job out there, and his playing's been pretty good too. On field, he's been good too. But today, though, East Geelong, as I said, they're not second favourites to me. They're equal favourites to me at the moment. They've been just as impressive as the Hawks. They only beat Werribee by 7 goals, but as I say, Werribee are playing a bit of a different game. But if Belmont bring that game they played against Thomson, they'll get within 4 or 5. If they bring the game they played against Werribee, they'll get beat by 25.
And the big shock news this week, Ben Bosley announcing he won't be coaching the club next year, which really surprised me. It makes me think that perhaps he's got thoughts to coach elsewhere, because he looks like a very natural footy coach to me. But he's told the club he's got family and work issues that will prevent him, and Tom Cordner-Mars has already been appointed coach, and Ben Bosley rates him really highly, I know, so very smooth. It's good that they can do that within the club at this time of year, cause no ripples, and they move on into the finals.
Well, it is, but I think a lot of people will say that Ben Bosley is as good a coach in the whole competition as anybody, better than most. But from what I got told, and this is what I got told, that his job changed. Right, his job conditions changed and whatnot, and basically when they changed, he couldn't coach. So hopefully that's all it is, and I reckon that is all it is. Young Thomas Cordner-Mars, he's just got to forget about next year's coaching at the moment. On game day, during the week he can pick up what he wants and join in the coaching, but on game day, he's one of their most important players. So forget about what's going to happen next year. Get out and get a kick, son. Forget about the coaching next year.
I think he really did say that in the paper, Grub, that he's just going to go about his business as he's been doing so far. So I think he's obviously played some good football. He's got his head screwed on the right way. And I wouldn't be surprised, like Benny said, he's not going to be coaching, but I reckon he'd still be in there. You could call on that if required, and just he might even just pop into the club every now and then just to have a bit of a check up. But again, it's something that you don't want to lose, but as I said, you've got the replacement, as you said, Rob, already in place, so it's not going to be that bad a transition for them at this stage.
We think Thomas Cordner-Mars might turn out to be the worst coach you've ever seen. You don't know that,
again, if they keep the same,
or the best.
Well, you get the same playing group there together, and you add 1 or 2 to it, Grub, then you're not going to be struggling to win games of footy.
Oh no.
So again, as you said, your personality you can't take into account, but you would think that shouldn't be an issue.
Cordner-Mars apparently has a lot to do with their video analysis, and pretty much takes that part of Tuesday night training already. So he's had a bit of an opener to it, and obviously has this respect to the group. So that should be smooth sailing for East Geelong. Winchelsea, shocking last week. Being a bit like you, Grubby, when you get emotionally attached to the place, but being an ex-member of the club and knowing a lot of players, that was a very ordinary performance last week. They host Anarchy and will win the game, but really disappointing, weren't they?
Well, I've got no emotional whatever to the whole club, and I was disappointed for them. Really disappointed for them. There he is. How you going, son? Need about 6 from you today. I'm not playing.
Oh, late out.
Photographed Thursday night, and I went off just precautionary, and then I done
wow.
this morning, and it's just still pulling some.
Oh, well, there you go. You can put that out. Freeman out. And there goes half the interest in the game. I might go home. So am I. Same here.
That was a very loose, off-the-cuff interview with Dan Freeman of
Well,
the Thomson
we
Footy
actually
Club.
need to know the out. We need to know the in.
Well, he was on the team sheet.
He's on the team sheet, yeah.
Wow, so there's a big one.
So the team manager hasn't been informed yet of
I
the,
wonder if the
late
coach knows.
exclusion. You would hope so.
You'd have a phone call being made at some stage. You're right.
So,
yes.
he was one of the great reasons to be watching this game.
Yeah,
I love the way he plays.
Yeah, he
Well,
was.
that'll make Tari breathe easier.
Oh, yeah, he's already got a plan for him. I asked him in the interview. Yeah, I've got no emotional attachment to the club whatsoever. I've only ever been to Winchelsea 3 times in my life, and 2 of them for my holidays. But to be quite honest, I was very disappointed myself in them. For 10 minutes to go in the second quarter, I thought, they're a chance here. And as I say, I think I'm the only one in the whole media that's given them some sort of a chance with the draw to make the finals, and they dished that rubbish up so bad in that second half. But I spoke to Daniel Gretzky after the game on the way out, and he was devastated.
Yep.
They're gone now. They can't make it. And I don't know where they go from there, but they'll win today, obviously, because, Anarchy are struggling, and I know I can't see the Roos winning one, or I'd love to see them. But, look, what do they do now? They just go out and win against Anarchy, and I don't know who they've got left after that. I think
I know they got Bannockburn in a couple of weeks' time.
They got Thomson
Grubble,
again,
I
I know.
Their run wasn't great, but as you said, though, with the way the draw was set up, they had a chance to win some game of football. And look, to be honest, I've been like you, Grub. To where they were with that about 10 minutes to go in that second quarter, and what they'd played, I thought they was just starting to get themselves back. And they actually looked they were playing better footy than West.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, the game has just turned on its ear, and in an hour in football, they just weren't existent.
No.
They never competed.
No.
I reckon Butch would have found that really hard. And if you had to interview him after the game, I'd have hated to ask the questions, because you could have got a spray back, I reckon, just for asking the question.
So we just remind that there was Winch had a shot for goal. It was about the 20-minute mark. It was touched on the line. Had it been a goal, they would have been in front.
In front.
And Thompson's next 5 entries into the forward 50 were 5 goals and 30 points up at half-time, game over.
Oh, yeah, it was very, very disappointing, especially when their whole season was on the line. And, you would have thought with their season on the line, they would have thrown everything they had at it, like these two sides will do today. And in the second half, they just couldn't throw anything at it. They were just a rabble.
All right, we've spoken about the losers of that game. Let's go to the winners. They've got a very important game. They're going out to Bannockburn. This is as important for the 5th position on the ladder. This game at Bannockburn today is as important for 3rd position on the ladder. The big sound, Geelong West head to Bannockburn. A great game of footy, Grubby.
Well, it will be, but just don't worry about the top 3, because if Bannockburn lose this, they'll drop to 5th, won't they?
Quite possibly.
They will.
Quite
There's no
possibly.
possibility, because the two sides below them play each other. One of them's got to win, and one of them's 6. So I reckon they'll drop to 5th if they lose today. But their run home isn't too bad. After today's game, they've got Anarchy, Winch, Thomson and North. So even if they drop to 5th, I think they'll get that back. But whether they can get top 3 back, I don't know. I don't think so, actually, if they lose
West
today.
will be 2 games in front of them.
Yes.
With a relatively good run home.
Yeah, and even though West have got a pretty good run home, they got North, Werribee, Belmont, and the last game up here, against Hill, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, it is here.
So I would,
Mushy told me that.
yeah, I would think Bannockburn would have to win today, or they won't get a double chance.
Yep.
But they've lost a big fella, you tell me, Grub,
Priam Fulton's been rubbed out for a week.
Yep.
For
a tackle.
for tackling someone. And that's what our games become. Have we got a dump button here?
Have you seen the incident on
Yes,
video?
Yes. Great tackle. Unfortunately, he's 6'4" and 110 kilo, and the bloke he tackles my height and half me weight. But he never got him in the head. The kid got up and had his kick and played on and played the rest of the game. And the AFL Barwon Tribunal will give him one. Like I say, bring back Ronnie Lovell's mob. Not Ronnie himself, but a proper GDFL tribunal that understands GDFL players and football and all that sort of stuff, because I can't believe that. And I know what you'll say, it was too rough. Bullshit, it was too rough.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I won't comment.
Well, I'll tell you now, right? This is coaching back then days. Get in hard and get the ball, boys, and tackle them hard. They don't like it. These days, it's get in hard and get the ball, but just tackle them softly or you might get reported.
Yeah.
Bloody rubbish.
I tend to
Rubbish.
agree.
Well, we were certainly taught to tackle to hurt.
Yes,
That's
you're not
what
allowed
we
to
were
do that
told.
anymore.
You were tackled. When you tackled, you rode him to the ground and you made sure you drove a knee in as well if you could do it. So
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not that much of a dinosaur
Yep.
that I believe if you grab a bloke, wrap his arms up and drop him head first, I've got no problems with that. But Kieran Fulton, I'm not going to go into it any further. And I'm going to go for, I don't know.
Well, it'll certainly
I
help
don't know.
West with Fulton not there because their Achilles heel is obviously a big man.
Yep.
And it leaves the Cole brothers probably as the only height that's going to worry them.
Against Lima, though, if he plays Lima in the ruck again, because they haven't got a ruckman either. So with Fulton there, they'd be a lot better off. But I don't know. Look, if you go on form over the last month, I'm going to go for West because I think their form's been better. But that doesn't mean Bannockburn can all of a sudden lift and play a good game.
What might help you, remember Mitch White talking pre-match about their points situation with that young kid Jin, who's played in the second half. If he's able to come up, then that might give them a little bit of firepower. But the Coles aren't going to be the sort of players that'll grab hold of the
No, I
game
don't
by the
think
scruff
so.
of the
They're
neck.
always good performances.
Yeah.
Nothing real spectacular. I
So with
understand
Fulton
that.
out, West certainly have a better chance. They pinched the game in round one, which you saw most of. They'll certainly be more competitive across the 4 quarters. And if they'll certainly be double chance if they win today, and I think they might just.
Yeah, it's going to be either way. It's going to be.
I'm going for the home side.
Yeah,
Go for the home side.
and I don't blame you
Go for the
either.
locals.
Former Bannockburn coach Dale Smith
He
giving
lives
his...
across the road from the ground. Of course he's going to go for it. It's like John Mitchell this morning. Talked all the way up Belpost Hill, but said, I'm going to go for an upset, I'm going to go for a Thomson. Well, that surprised us all, didn't it? Really surprised us all.
Okay, and the last game in the round, of course, is the one that we're going to be looking at, and we are excited. Grubby, I don't know what your tip was before the game, but we know Dan Freeman's not playing. Has it changed your tip?
Well, it can't change me tip because me tip this morning was I don't know. And I really didn't know. McLeod, both out. Brent, broken finger and a bad hamstring injury, but will play finals if they make it. I don't know how close that'll be. I tell you what, I reckon he's in a bit of trouble. And, of course, Jackson, he's got, I think they investigated a bump. So I'm not going to start all over again, but crikeys. With them two out, but now Freeman out, I'm going to lean towards the home side. I'm just going to lean towards them, but I just think both sides here know, they all know what's at stake. The players know, the coaches know, everybody knows what's at stake, and they're just going to get out there and go flat out. And I reckon we're going to see a hard, tough, fiery, fair game of football. And may the best side win because the best side may be the side that plays finals. Do they make up the numbers? No, I don't think they do in our comp. I think whoever finishes fifth in the GFL and the BFL will probably be just making up the numbers. But in the GDFL, the fifth side can go all the way because there's not a huge difference. So I think, all right, I'll go for Belpost Hill at home because Freeman's out, but for no other reason.
We've just been informed via text that Dan Freeman's replacement is wearing number 17 and his name is John Burke, for want of a better Christian name, but we're sure his surname is Burke, and he will be
call
Dan
him Berkey.
Freeman's rate. So Berkey it is. He's come in to help his team out. Dale, are you in the Belpost Hill camp, or do you like Thomson?
No, I'm in the Belpost Hill camp at home. I think they play some good brand of football up here. They'll take a definite type of beating. As I said, I'm not going to think it's going to be a great margin in the game. But I just think they will be able to win the game of football and just give themselves that little bit of a break over Thomson, and with that may also secure them their final spot for the year. But again, it's a pretty tough sort of following because both sides have got some tough games coming up. I think they both got Inverleigh and Bannockburn, and I think one's got West and one might have East in the run home. So
Belpost Hill have got East, Inverleigh, Corio and West.
Yep.
And Thomson have got Winch, East, Bannockburn, Inverleigh.
Yeah, so that's
right.
If they make it, they deserve to make it.
There's one thing that keeps cropping up in the back of my mind, and I know I'm being stupid because it's so long ago. But the last time we saw these two teams, Thomson crunched them. They beat them in the air, they beat them on the ground by 10 goals. And Belpost Hill, I know it's the first round of the year and it's not the same side, but I just still feel like if Thomson play their best footy, they're better than Belpost Hill. I just feel that, but being up here without them players, I'm still going to go Belpost, but that keeps cropping up in my mind. The way they handled them the first game was tremendous.
Yeah, I like the home side, particularly with Freeman out. I think he was going to cause some problems, but I can't see that happening now. Now,
You're
Grubby,
both going for Bell Post.
all going for Bellpost Hill.
Right, I think I'll change. Because it was that close, I think we'll just put a bit of interest
You
in
may,
it.
as, you may as well side with Mitch.
I'll go for the Tommy Tigers.
Yeah, that's old mate.
Johnny
thank you.
Mitchell being such a wonderful bloke.
Now, you're great with your research. We're looking in the middle of the ground. All we can see is umpires because players are huddled at each end. Who are our umpires today, Grubby?
Oh, have I got him?
I don't know. You usually have every other round.
Here we go. Yes, I have. Jess Verticizzi. We're playing footy or soccer. He's a really good kid, actually. Very, very good umpire, Jess. Stephen Ritchie. Usually Steve Keaton sends me a bit on these blokes, but we've had these blokes before. And Josh Brown is a terrific umpire. So I think we're going to have a really, really good day with umpires and football all round. And someone said Tommy King was here somewhere. What would that moron be doing at GDFL football? He's got nothing to do with him.
He's the scoop. He'll be looking for
Nothing
something.
to do with him.
Now, what I'm also interested too, there's a lot of experience and a bit of age and strength in our boundary umpires today, which is good. We've had some games where we've been a bit light on, but today there's 4 boundary umpires. Let's hope the ball doesn't spend a lot of time over there. Wind is pretty much straight up the middle of the ground, Grubby, so important start.
Going which way?
Heading to town.
Down there, is it?
Coming from the north. It's probably favouring that pocket over that, so you'd have to attack from this flank.
So it's coming from the Werribee end.
It's coming from Werribee.
Yeah.
Dan Freeman wishing he would be playing now. Look, he's got the babysitting job now. Got rid of the football, got the kids.
Yes, he loves his little daughter. Interviewed him for the Footy Record, and he just lives for his little daughter, so he'll probably be happy to spend some time with her today. But his teammates out on the ground will be devastated. We're in the centre of the ground now. Umpire has the ball. We're about to get started. It would appear that Bellpost Hill are kicking with the aid of the breeze as Will Ford is heading towards Geelong, as is the wind. So, Dale Smith, over to you to get us off the way.
Yes, and it's going to be a good day for football as long as that wind doesn't get up too much more than we're supposed to get a drop of rain at some stage too, I think. But the ball is now to be thrown in the air in the middle of the ground. There's already been a whistle, a holding decision. It's going to go. I'm not too sure it's going to go to, but it's...
Yates, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, it was. So the ball's quickly into the hands of Whitney now, and he goes quickly into the forward line. Ball gets through, picked up there by Uji's, got the handball over the back, and again from Maguire, his kick was smothered, so ball runs towards the pocket. Kerins is there, puts a little bit of pressure on. Thomson now with some numbers around the contest. The Hawks, strong tackle laid, ball's allowed to go on, picked up by Page, little short chip back towards the pocket. Ball's going to run toward the boundary line and over, so we're going to have a throw in very early in this first quarter, 35 seconds. The ball has gone to the forward pocket.
I noticed Jaden Etheridge is playing, Smithy. He hasn't played that many games back, has he?
No, I don't think so.
Looking pretty fit too.
So the ball now thrown back in by the umpire once again. Timmy Barton's down there doing the ruck work. He throws one of the Thomson boys out of there. Etheridge had the ball, got a little kick off the ground. Umpire says that was incorrect disposal. Freaks is going to go to Cam, the ruckman, and he is deep in their back half. Decides to go to the rail or the highway side of the ground. Good mark and kick there. Jackson Sheedy comes up with the ball. So he now is going to go further to the far side of the ground. Again, the kick probably didn't hit the target out there. McNamara gets down, got the handball away. Someone sits over the top. I can't see who it is, but the ball comes out of the contest once again. Thomson with some numbers around it again. Umpires allowed things to proceed. The ball comes out of the contest. Baseley playing it back up in the hands of Whitney. He goes across to Flacavento, and Flacavento now decides to go short. And Cozzy moving up the ground has taken a mark inside the centre square. His options are going across the ground. He's got one out here, Muir, and he'll take the mark. So Ben Muir now has the ball. Baseley provided a little bit of space, but the ball goes in short now. Kerins, it is, comes up, and he's got the ball. So he's going to look for some options further afield. Nothing there at the moment. Called a play on by the umpire. Decides to go long to the forward pocket. Ball gets out the back forward. Went for the jump. Didn't put hands on the ball. The ball comes out of his hands. Goes over the boundary line. And now we're going to have a throw in to take place in front of the scoreboard here at Bellpost Hill. And the umpire has the ball and was about to restart the play with Timmy Barton obviously doing most of the work in the ruck down the field. Ball is thrown in. Actually, it's not. It was actually Mann that did the ruck work. He's gone down there and it was picked up and snapped back towards goal, and that has gone through. Jaden Etheridge, who else? He has got the first goal of the afternoon. And Bellpost Hill have the first. They are one straight goals. They lead Thomson, who are yet to score. 2.5 minutes gone. Coming to Fiend Hotel, first quarter scoreboard.
Smitty, I was going to comment. because he's come up the ground, up into the centre square a little bit to get a kick. Now, he can afford to do that now Jaden Ettridge is back there because they're both dangerous little buggers and they can only get 4 or 5 kicks each and kick 8 goals between them. But obviously, Ettridge will stay back for a while, give Cosy a bit more scope. And I'll tell you what, even if he hasn't been back for long, young Ettridge, he's shown what a dangerous player he is.
Yeah, they don't need to touch the ball very much, those two.
Back in the middle now, Cam and Mann go up. Cam gets it neatly down to teammate. Quick kick out of the middle there by Sheedy. Heads Thompson's way. Green gets it, can't handle it. He gets it back again. Has a second go with a quick hand pass across to Kerslake. Drives it forward for Thomson, but the Bellpost Hill defence at this stage resolute. Quick little hand pass comes out to Mann. Mann is tackled before he can get a kick away. That's a potential free kick. The umpire's letting the play go on. Another tackle there drives Thompson's by Thomson player, holds play up. We're right on the edge of the centre square. It's Yates who was the last one up with the ball. Ball's thrown up again. Cam neatly over his head to Zach Plant. Hand passes into the open to Davis for Bellpost Hill. Hand passes inside and coming through there for Thomson and having a shot at goal, but marked just prior to the line. Having a shot there was Gardner, but it's gone forward. Play on quick there by, who is that? Is it O'Connell?
Yep.
And O'Connell has kicked a quick reply for Thomson, so it's 1 goal each, and we're at the 4.5 minute mark of the Common Nafine Hotel first quarter.
A good play. Really good play, O'Connell, was it? He realised as soon as his teammate got the ball that, number one, he was kicking into the wind. Number two, it was going to be a scrubby kick, and he just read it. He just moved straight away and read it, took the ball on the chest, and then decided that in that position, and I agree with him, I'm not a big fan of this kicking around the corner stuff, but in that position in the forward pocket, it's ideal, and there's the reply, and let's hope that it happens all day. Goal, 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 because we'll have a great day here out at the Bellpost Hill.
So back with the umpire in the middle of the ground. As we said, Luke Mann doing the ruck work and Cam for the Thomson. Ball down, Cam gets it out. Again, picked up there, Plank, got the handball outside. They use the ball nicely to Sheedy. He comes across the ground. Kerslake leads in the race for the ball. Picked the ball up now. Got some running options from behind. Handball goes back. Kelly's kick was smothered. Picked up by Barton. Barton goes to Baseley. Tries to step back inside. And he put the ball down. Free kick goes to Thomson, who's going to take it. I'm not too sure at this stage. Donahue. No, it's not Donahue. It's going to go back to Kelly. So Kelly now is going to handball away. Ball goes into the hands there of Burke, who's the replacement. He goes across the ground towards centre half forward. Ball gets out the back, coming up to meet the ball. Thomson, they overrun the ball. Cam goes back. He picks the ball up, got the handball away. Little boot across the side, goes towards Gardner. He leads in the race. Kerins is also there. They've got support out there on the far side of the ground. They bring the ball back towards their full forward position. The only one going for the ball is... I think that's the young kid from Andrews. And he attacked the ball. He did. He brought the ball back into the centre ground but turned it over. Comes back to Zach Plant now and he delivers the ball. Clubber inside. Nice kick. Nice lead. Mark is taken out there. Play on there. Green wants to go quickly back into the forward line. A little bit of pressure on his forwards. It goes out the back. Davis has it now. Got the handball back into Cam. Again, he can go round the body. And they have now their second goal. Jordan Cam has one. Thomson have two. They lead Bellpost Hill in the one solitary goal. 6.5 gone. First quarter. Common Nafine Hotel. First quarter scoreboard.
God, there was so much to pick out of that. Who gave the handball? I couldn't see down there. I don't know.
Davis.
It was Davis, was it?
Back
Well,
inside,
I tell you what, yes, it was a great handball, but to leave the fella sitting there on his own, it was probably a big mistake. But it really, or it doesn't annoy me, but it's just Josh Andrews goes up for the ball, grabs it, takes off, and looks like Alex Jezelenko. And then he kicks it down a Thomson bloke's throat and they get the ball straight back in for another repeat entry. And as we say every week, the more repeat entries, the more chance you got of kicking goals. So a lot to pick out from there. The other thing is, when you got a bloke in the ruck, I think Tari said they're going to try and rove to the other rucks. When you've got such a distinct advantage, the ruckman can put it wherever he wants, and it's so hard to do that. They're going to have to man up in the centre bounces.
So we're in the middle now, and it's Mann and Cam. Mann probably got most of that down towards Whitney. He hand passes quickly back to Yates, who drives forward because Ettridge is waiting underneath. Ford comes out, picks up very nicely, swings around very quickly on the right boot, and the competition leading goal kicker has just missed to the left. First minor score for the afternoon, Bellpost Hill 1-1-7, Thomson 2 straight goals, and we're just coming up to 8 minutes into the Common Nafeen Hotel first quarter.
And the proof in the pudding there is that he halved the contest in the ruck or even won it, and Bellpost Hill got the clearance and the shot at goal.
That did help. Maguire kicks out for Thomson, but in front of the pack there, taking a mark. I think it's Yates, Bellpost Hill captain, who was spoken about with very high praise from the club coach in the pre-match interview this afternoon. A man who leads very strongly, probably the best captain in the comp, in Grubby's opinion. He kicks in the middle of the ground. First possession to Matt James. Marks very easily. We're used to this bloke tucking the ball under his arm, running and kicking it a mile. And he has done exactly that. A long kick right to the top of the square. In fact, over the back of the pack and through for a minor score. But he's kicked that from, I'd say, a good 57 or 8 metres that ball's travel. So that'll give you an idea. The wind's pretty strong, although Yates has got a pretty good hoof on him anyway.
Oh, yeah, he's
sorry,
got a
James.
quick back. Sorry. Never even mentioned Sammy Jacker being out.
So ball comes back in for Thomson. Kicked out, looking for a teammate. But it's Bellpost Hill who win the ball again. Kicked back by Costello, middle of the pack. Roving the pack there is Ford. Hand passes across to a teammate. Lands in the square, coming through to pick up the ball for Thomson. Very cleverly slaps it over the boundary line. And the umpire
he's played deliberate. And I think he
that
should have
deliberately,
too.
son.
Oh, I think he did.
And I don't think there was too much doubt about that. And Costello will take the kick right underneath the scoreboard, showing his team 4 points in the rear at this stage. And Nick Costello, who one of the greatest goal kickers in this club's history, goes back in the pocket. He's gone for the banana. The goal umpire doesn't like it too much. Across the face of goal. 1 point only. 139. Thomson 2 straight goals. And we've just hit the 10-minute mark of the Common Nafeen Hotel first quarter. So Thomson waiting for the ball to come back. It's gone a fair way over into the car park. Yeah, that ruck situation, Grubby's going to be really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. If you can at least half the contest, it gives them a chance. But if the big bloke gets on top for Thomson, Cam, and hits it to a Thomson player, it makes it very hard. They have to man up and stop them from coming out of the sentence with a clearance.
So it's Mead Harding now for Thomson. Kicks long down the middle of the ground, looking for a teammate. It's Gardner. He can't hold the mark, but quickly follows up, gets the handball. Cam gets the ball out into the open spaces again. Thomson pick it up and immediately tackle. Bellpost Hill have won the ball back, but the umpire has said held without it.
No, he called holding the ball. He went like that for some reason.
Holding the ball it is then. And Jones for Bellpost Hill kicks out wide. Clever little kick there by Whitney down the line into the pocket. Ettridge comes out, picks the ball up in the bounce. Hand passes, but the umpire has blown the whistle. And it'll be a free kick to Thompson's Sheedy. I'm not even sure what that was for, whether it was incorrect disposal possibly. So Sheedy now, that is a horrible kick, but it lands on a teammate's chest who can't hold the ball. The umpire's blown the whistle again. You've held it too long, he said, and Bellpost Hill win the ball back. And that will be Donahue. Kicks the ball into the, Sable kicks the ball into the forward pocket for Bellpost Hill, but coming out and taking a relieving mark for the Thomson side. There is Jones, I think it is, in the back pocket. So Jones now walks round forward on the mark, gets himself a metre or two and kicks it down to the half-back flank. A teammate there can't hold the mark. Coming through quickly for Bellpost Hill and kicking cleverly into the forward line. Costello picks up, tackle. The ball falls from his possession. It's for open spaces again, but the umpire said that Bellpost Hill player disposed of that incorrectly.
Wow.
And taking a kick is Kerslake for Thomson into the back pocket. Finds a teammate out there. Kicks down centre wing. Comes through very strongly. Taking a mark there is Kelly. Kelly kicks into the middle of the ground and taking the mark there is Kerslake, who's followed up well out of the back pocket. So Thomson mounting something here. Kicking against a fairly strong breeze, so it'll be possession game they'll be trying to work on. Zach Plant, that favoured left foot of his, down the line. He finds Mead Harding on the wing, far side of the ground. Quickly round on his left foot. That is a beautiful kick into space. Teammate can't quite take the mark, but it's been kicked further forward, but just beats Thomson player there in O'Connell over the line. There'll be a boundary throw in about 5 metres around from their behind post. They're in attack, leading by 3 points. And we're 13 minutes into the Common Nafina Hotel first quarter.
That another number you're looking at, Rob, was 42, and I haven't got him on my team sheet, so I'm not too sure who that is, but he's a big tall bloke in the middle of the ground.
Yeah, well, it's Jones on the footy record. Tim Jones is 42 for Thomson, so we'll run with that until we know better. The play's continued on there. Ball's been tapped out into space for Bellpost Hill. It's Hecker who picks up the ball, gets it onto his left foot, kicks towards the centre wing. Coming out is Barton. He can't trap the ball. Thomson win it back very cleverly. Kicks forward, but that is a poor kick. And it lands in the hands of Caleb Baseley for Bellpost Hill. He kicks out wide here looking for Costello, but in front of him and running with a great deal of pace is Jones. Zane Jones, he's run into the 50 metre. He's carried the ball a very long way. Hand pass across to Ford.
Handball!
Ford misses the opportunity to handball. Gets across to a teammate. Thomson come out of the back pocket there very cleverly. Hand passed across. A half-back flank goes out. Gardner's going to be first there. Gets it on the bounce. Runs past Whitney. Kicks it low. Not to any advantage into the centre wing area. Thomson come out and again release through a quick handball to a teammate. There is Cam. Cam runs on a bit further. It's Mead Harding now. Left foot kick into the forward line. Jostling position there is Davis. He can't quite get the ball. The umpire's hovering around the pack waiting, and we will have a ball up. About 30 metres out from Thomson's goal. They're still leading 9-12. And we're now up to the nearly 15-minute mark of this first quarter. Plucked out of the pack by Green. Kick forward. Rolling, and rolls through for another goal to the Thomson side. They're third, and this is massive. Kicking against a pretty strong wind. 3 straight goals, 18. 15 minutes into the quarter. Bellpost still stagnant on 1 goal, 3. Grubby, this is what you suspected before the game might happen.
Well, yeah, and they're going hard at it, and both sides are going hard at it. I've got no doubts about that. But Bellpost still have had 2 or 3 opportunities to be 3 or 4 goals with this win, and they just haven't been able to do it. Some good defence by Thomson, and I tell you, a little bit of selfish play by Will Ford. He got the handball given to him, and he should have bloody well given off again. It would have been an easy goal. I know he's a great goal kicker, and I know he'll win the goal kicking. But sometimes you've got to handball to a bloke in better position, and the goal would have went the other way. It's a 12-point goal.
So ball back in the centre of the ground now, and it's tapped out. Thomson again win possession. They bring the ball just to the club room side, heading towards centre wing. Player leading the races at Kerslake. Picks the ball up, got in and out of trouble, got the handball away. Went in the hands there to Sheedy. Sheedy goes back towards the pocket. Man in front doesn't take the mark. He's got support there in Green on the left boot. He puts it back towards the top of the goal square. Ball bounces coming out. Flacavento, I think it was, couldn't take control of the ball. Handball goes back into the hands of Donoghue. Donoghue looks up. That's a nice kick. Put it out in front of his teammate there, and that was O'Connell.
Oh, that's a free
He's
kick.
over the top of the ball. Umpire says it's a push in the back. Free kick going Thomson's way. So they have another opportunity now. Be a little bit harder kicking back into that breeze, but still within range, and a kick of about 35 metres, 45-degree angle.
Another update, although the record says Tim Jones, Steve Salajan is wearing number 42. Thank you, Paul Kinnemborough, from the lounge room at home, listening to 94.7 The Pulse.
So now its ball is in the hands of O'Connell, and from the pocket he comes in. A wobbly kick off the boot, and it is offline through for a minor score.
And I think from your research, Grubby, Tim Green and Salajan come to the club from Birregurra, where they both played in premiership sides up there.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
So the ball back in quickly now to back the Mara in the back pocket. And he's got the ball and slows things down, basically continues to push down the ground, but he goes longer towards centre wing. Mark not taken, out the back, extra over the top, I think it was. He brings the ball to ground, and it was actually, Burke that earned the big spoil. So he's made his presence felt in this early part of the game. The ball going to be thrown back in, just forward of centre wing. Thompson's attacking in. Barton front position. He's up. Ball comes down to the front. Again, picking the ball up. Sheedy. Ball comes out in the tackle. Goes to Matty James. He couldn't pick the ball up cleanly. Handball went along the boundary line. And maybe just over because he was out and gone.
And that was a good decision too, because the ball was definitely out from what I could see.
We're not far away from the ball here either, so umpire to restart it now. Throw in by the umpire. Cam front position. Ball comes down towards Sheedy. Missed by him and James overran the ball. High, says the umpire, so Matty James will be the recipient. He'll come back and take the free kick.
Now this will go long. So get behind the pack.
So where's Ford? He goes long. It's a nice weighted kick, and that's a great kick. Because Caleb basically has fallen into the hole, and he has taken the mark, and he'll go back from about 30 metres out, almost directly in front, and kick for goal. A much needed goal for Belpost Hill.
That was a magnificent kick, considering what he would have been viewing to pick him out.
Well, considering that even though he's been a great player, at times he tends to just boot at 60 metres to a contest. But instead of doing that, he's obviously matured a little bit, young James, because he picked the bloke out. It's not an easy kick to do that with players all around him, but he picked the bloke out in the middle, and that was an absolutely beautiful kick, and that wasn't.
And he has missed, as Grubby called it. Caleb Basley has missed, so Belpost Neil to 1-4.
Come on, Quinny!
Thompson on 3-1. And we have ticked over just on 19 minutes in this first quarter.
Ball's being kicked down to the middle of the ground. Thomson have won it through Burke. Kicked down to the centre wing. I think that's Cam there. Neat little pass into the forward line. Over the back of the pack. Can't hold the mark. Stacks on the mill, as they would say in the old days. The umpire's still hovering, waiting. It finally has come out. He made the right decision to wait. And coming through is James. Hand passes, which is an unusual thing for him to do. He couldn't break a tackle. And Thomson trying to win the ball. Hand passed out towards the boundary line. The umpires come back and said, I thought he looked to be heavy-handed, dealt with. That was Zach Plant. And he's going to take the free kick right on centre wing for Thomson. He's got a very accurate left foot kick, very similar to Dill Whitney in the opposition. He's kicked out looking for Green. He can't hold the mark because Gardner chipped in front of him. The two players collided and the ball's gone out of bounds. Half forward flank, around 60 metres from their goal in attack and leading 19-10. And this is at the 20-minute mark of the Common Nafeen Hotel first quarter here at Belpost Hill. It's Martin and Cam. Cam wins that quite clearly down to Gardner. Kicks across to the centre of the ground. Burke comes through. Doesn't quite pick it up on the bounce. It's a fair bit of pressure on him. He paddles it around, but the numbers come for Belpost Hill, and it's Basley who saves the day. Neat little pass from him. Finds Martin at, Barton at centre half back. He kicks into the middle of the ground, and a teammate there is Muir. Muir runs around. It's an ugly looking drop punt. He's looking for Ettridge, but coming out in front of him is the aforementioned Salajan. Not on the team list, being kicked into the middle of the ground, and following up there for Thomson is Scott. He kicks right across into the back pocket on the far side of the ground, and Donahue marks. He finds another player, and they're playing a bit of keepings off at the moment, and that's cleverly, luckily, Cam was so tall. Got two juggles at it. He's holding the mark just short of centre wing. Thomson in attack again. Another pass to a leading player. Over the back of the pack, though, it's broken. It's Muir now for Belpost Hill. Kicks high and under up into the forward line. Kerrin can't take the mark. Coming out is Burke. Does a very good job to trap the ball. Kerrin gets a second go at it.
That's reportable.
Very, very strongly.
That's reportable. He tackled him. He tackled him. It's reportable.
We now have a situation where the umpire is called holding the pill. Belpost Hill's captain Jack Yates will be the recipient, and his neat little pass finds Costello running up the ground. He's within range, kicks long,
You don't miss that.
and kicks straight. Another goal to the home side. They go to 2-4. 16, Thomson a 3-1-19. And we're approaching 22 minutes into the Common Nafeen Hotel first quarter.
I can't comment on the free kick because I didn't see if he actually dragged it in. I didn't think he did. The ball was under there a long time. You just can't pay a free kick. But if he dragged it in, fine. But once it came out, once Cozzy gets it there, you might as well put your glasses down because he don't miss them.
So we're back in the middle.
And I tell you what, they needed that, something shocking, because if this wind is as strong as Rob Cameron says it is, I haven't been out there.
So the ball back in the middle.
Cam and Barton go at it. Ball comes down to Timmy Barton. A little boot to the ball. Takes the ball towards centre half forward. Salajan was the first one there. Couldn't pick the ball up, but Burke can, and he goes back towards centre wing. Mark is going to be taken out there. Yes, Mark has been taken, and I can't see who it is. It's going to be another player with a number I can't recognise, 49. So again, we need another one. If your mate's on the television, let's hope it can get back to us, Rob. Ball now in the hands of McNamara, comes across the ground into the hands there of Sable. So Sable now looks to Clubberoo's side. The kick wasn't good off the boot. Ball evades Kerins, but he went back after it and collected it, tried to get rid of it, put it down. Umpire allows him to go on. Now he says it's going to come back to me, and we're going to have a ball up. So that will work okay for him.
Thomson win the game, they might be a bit of trouble because the side they've registered isn't the one playing. I think there's 3 out there that are different now.
So the ball thrown up. This time Barton does get hand on ball, comes back towards centre wing, runs there. Kerins coming the other way, picks the ball up. Don't know whether he got the handball away correctly. Ended up the hands there of Flacavento and who saw he put the ball down towards centre half forward. McNamara, first to arrive, just bundles the ball a little bit further afield, comes out, and it's going to be a free kick going back. Umpire said no, there's no advantage. It's going to come back, and it's going to back to Bo McNamara. I think he sort of stopped and they halted. That's probably the reason, Grub. But now McNamara decides to go wide, far side of the ground, to Collins, who goes further afield. And now they run through Andrews from centre wing, delivers the ball long into the forward line, going across Salajan. Nice grab. Mark. And he takes the marking, moves the ball quickly, goes to the far side of the ground. And Donahue, I think it is out there. He comes back inside. Mark is taken also, this time by O'Halloran. A defensive fight of centre wing now goes a little bit further down the field. And I think that might even be Davis that's pushed up from the full forward position. Hasn't seen much of it, but he's taken the mark out there. He's got a little short kick further afield, and again, they're playing possession football and doing it nicely. They've moved the ball to the true centre wing.
Well, that's the way to play football against the wind, Smithy.
Well, it is. They're just maintaining, take a little bit of time. They go this longer this time. Going across, Benny Muir comes up and takes the mark. Puts his hand up and says to the umpire, I'm stopping, and going back. Decides to go now towards centre wing.
Metre, is it?
No, he's called back because he hadn't gone back behind his mark.
Okay.
I would think.
Well,
so,
I thought you said he stopped and went behind his mark.
Well, he went backwards, but he never actually went behind the mark, probably direct line. So he brings the ball back into the middle. Andrews now with it, and he looks to go straight up the ground, goes towards Page.
Oh, that hurt.
If he was sore before, he's definitely going to be sore again now.
He
don't even think he saw him coming then. Ball in the hands of Cozzy, comes across. He's got up. I think he's seen better days, though. He's probably taken a few of them in his days, but he's got up and he's running pretty fresh. That's a good sign.
Sitting here.
Yeah,
jeez.
All fair and reasonable. A bit like watching Jordan Lewis that time, wasn't it?
Yeah, all fair and reasonable for the footy. There's not a bit of spite in it, but by geez, that hurt. He's a tough little bugger, Pagey, because he's up and running around.
Both had eyes for the ball.
Mate, in rugby, he'd be off now for that check. That
we could see it, but he couldn't obviously see what we saw.
Oh, wow, that must have hurt.
So Dill Whitney's got the ball now, and another bloke. That is a reliable kick towards goal. Goes back, leans back, goes at goal, and he likes it off the boot, and so does the umpire, because they now have their third, and they move to 3-4 and regain the lead. Thomson on 3 goals, 1. We have gone 26 minutes, first quarter. Commonafine Hotel, first quarter scoreboard.
Well, I tell you what, you get confidence out of a goal and you lift. But when you see one of your older players go for a ball like that and get crunched and put his body on the line, that's got to lift them too. And, you know, they're obviously in front now. Not by enough if that wind is what we say it is. But they've all of a sudden just started to play a little bit better football. Andrews off the back flank is starting to get some kicks, and they're starting to get into the game. But the quarter's nearly run out, isn't it? So another one would be very handy for him and Thomson. I've got to work, and if they get another one, they win the quarter easy.
So back in the middle we go once again. Whitney with the ball, goes backwards to James. James runs from the middle and will load up, and he does, and he goes long, back towards Ford. Etheridge is also there.
Oh, free kick, though.
Willie Ford. He was using Jade Etheridge as a step ladder there, but it's in the hands of Burke of Thomson. He delivers the ball, goes out wide, and again, kick is okay. Heads towards the boundary line. We're not sure who that player is out there, but the ball goes towards the boundary line, stays just inside the field of play. Umpire allows things to go on and sits about, and now we'll say it's coming back to
right. They'll take this little thing. That man wearing number 49 is Mr. Burke, and the man wearing number 17 is the man who should be wearing number 12, Mr. Exel. So there's
that's the bloke I was going to ask about.
Two more changes.
So 12, 17's Axel, is it?
Yep.
Well, I had him down as 12, and I thought that was him, but then, okay. And what's the other one?
49 is Burke, the late inclusion for
49.
Freeman.
Okay.
So we're starting to get somewhere near it now. So Cam gets the tap out straight to Bell Post Hill, though. Coming through is James, and that's a nice little pass into centre half forward, but over the top of the intended recipient, and Thomson kicked back towards their forward line, punched away cleverly coming through. Flacavento does a very, very good job, gets it across to Hecker. Hecker has an ugly kick, but he knew exactly where it was going, and it got there to Fantella. Fantella back into the middle of the ground to James. James is marked, but he played on, in my opinion. The umpire said he's okay. He's hand passed now across to Page. Page kicks forward, but the siren goes. It's quarter time. Bell Post Hill lead 3-4-22. Thomson 3-1-19. Very interesting quarter. Grubby will detail it later. Goal kickers, Dale.
Goal kickers to this stage of the game, Costello, Whitney and Ettridge for the home side. And for Thomson, we have one to Cam, O'Connell and Sam Green. So a 3-point margin at quarter time. Take a short break, come back with second quarter action here from Myers Reserve. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Second quarter, brought to you by Buckley's Entertainment Centre.
Welcome back to Bell Post Hill. Home side leading 3-4-22. Thomson 3-1-19. We've had a few commentator nightmares here. I know Dale Smith doesn't like the hyphenated names. I'm not a big fan of the Bell Post Hill trio of Basely, Yates and Page. They do my head in, but when you got the wrong numbers on the team sheet, you're destined for failure. Grubby,
but that's not Bell Post Hill's team sheet's not right, is it?
No, Thomson's. It's been a shocker, but in their defence, they've had 4 late changes overnight, basically. so that's made it tough for them. But I tell you what, they're playing all right. That was a pretty strong breeze. 3 points down at quarter time. I would call that a win to Thomson. What do you reckon, Grubby?
Yeah, look, it probably was. And with all the wrong numbers on the team sheet, I thought that would have probably helped you. But look,
Drop your record, mate.
But look, I said before they ran out, they were going to throw everything out at both sides, and that's exactly what they've done. There's been no quarter given, no quarter asked. It's been fair dinkum at the ball, hard, fast, some really good play, some not so good kicks because of the intense pressure. And it's a game that I said this morning on hashtag, get out here and have a look at it, because you'll see two teams going at it, and that's exactly what you do. 3-4-22 probably should have been 5-something. A couple of things that happened up there forward, I already mentioned them, so I'm not going to mention them again, but they probably should have been a couple more. And for some reason, I think they probably needed to have a couple more. I'm not sure of the wind. I look at the trees and everything. I'm not sure if it's that much. I might go out and have a kick from 50 in a minute. Actually, from 50 to the goals, I'll have 3 or 4 kicks but at each end, because I just don't know. But look, in general play, it was a fantastic contest. And if the wind's not that bad, then that contest will be the same all day, which we hope it is. Some good players out at Balpost Hill. I thought Flacavento early. James come off the bench, which was strange, but he played pretty well. Page showed his toughness and his bravery. Basely was brilliant for the first half of the quarter, and Josh Andrews was brilliant for the second. Costello's dangerous. Whitney was all right. Benny Muir and everything, and Ettridge. For Thomson, I thought Mitch Eady was okay. Travis Maguire, probably the best fullback in the competition, if you ask me. Salajan, I don't know where they got him from, but he was terrific. Charlie Birregurra, thank you very much, John Mitchell. Plant was good. Donahue was good. Cam won the ruck. And to be quite honest, I thought it was a great quarter. And if we can have a couple more great quarters like that, then we'll have a bloody good day out. That's my prediction anyway.
Quickly around the grounds, I reckon the wind will be having a bit of an effect. Inverleigh leading Werribee 17-7. Bannockburn away 4-3-27. Geelong West 1-3-9. North Geelong 1-1-7. Corio out of the blocks 3-5-23. Belmont have kicked 1 goal 4, but East Geelong have kicked 5 goals 3, leading pretty well. The score here 22-19, and Winchelsea 4-1. Anarchy 1 point. That's around the grounds.
And just remember, if the wind's playing havoc out at some of them grounds, the scores could tighten up at halftime.
Very much so. We'll look forward to seeing how that balances out. But for here now, there is a breeze. Thomson get a crack at it this time, and they're only 3 points down. I'm really looking forward to this quarter. Dale Smith, are you enjoying this game as much as I am?
It is so far, mate. It's been quite good.
Got bit of an issue out in the ground at the moment. The umpires are just asking the crowd to clear, I think it is, some issues.
Oh, a massive crowd.
There's not many here, but they're not following
inside the
instructions.
fence.
But
Anyway,
we're back in the middle now.
Ball has been, siren has sounded. Ball has been thrown in the air. Cam, the only one that actually went at the ball. Timmy Barton thought he'd read it off the contest. Didn't get hands on it. Ball ends up back in the hands of Cam, who goes towards centre half forward. I think I heard a whistle out there. It's going to go down the field. Free kick going to be given. And it will go to O'Connell or Gardner. Must be Gardner. So it's going to come back to Brandon Gardner now. So just getting the ball back. And he'll be able to put Thomson further into attack. Donnie hands the ball back to him now, so Brandon Gardner now has the ball back in his hands and will look to deliver the ball further down the field. He goes towards the centre half forward position, goes over the top there, but going back again basically into the hole, and he takes the mark. Looks outside, player leading up is Yates. He leads in the race for the ball. Probably had man handled there. The umpire's allowed play to go on now. Ends up in the hands of Jones, who goes long towards Kerins. He leads up and takes the mark on centre wing. So Kerins now far side. And looking for some options straight down the line. None there at the moment, but decided he's found one now and goes towards that player. Man, it is. Must be going to spend some time in the forward line with Timmy Barton doing some ruck work. So Man again chips the ball back inside. That's a nice looking kick. Joel Page, good to see him back on his feet. As I said, copped a heavy blow, but got straight back up and delivers the ball now. But it's just going to be turned over and it goes straight into the hands there. I think that's Excel out there. He plays on now and goes down the field. Mark not taken out there by Green. Gets out the back, picked up there by Hecker. Got the handball over the top, and again Belpost still emerge with the ball into the hands of Barton. Goes backwards, McNamara goes sideways, has James, so he steadies things down. They make some space out towards this side of the ground. Good kick and mark, and Whitney will take it. Will he go on? He's looking for some options. Got some chases from behind. Goes towards Ettridge. Put a little bit on the kick. Went over the back. Oh, he was probably interfered there. Umpire said yes, it was an interfere, and it's going to be coming back to Jaden Ettridge. So free kick will go to Jaden Ettridge just on the half-forward line. Decides to play on now. Long goes towards the top of the square. Flyers up, and again, another player came through, got hit pretty heavily, but there's been a ball, and it's been put down incorrectly. Good tackle from behind, and it's going to go to Maguire. He's going to be the recipient.
Belpo still player there.
Jack Yates.
Pretty wobbly. I don't think he'll take long to recover.
So he's onto his feet, and again, a good sign because he went pretty hard at it and got cleaned up a little bit. Ball, again, fair, all in the contest. Gets out the back now. Again, picked up out there. Kerslake got the handball away. I think that may have been planted. That's a great kick in the left foot. Leading up to the ball is Davis. Davis on centre wing, goes further afield. Has a running player out there. This time it's Irwin. Got the ball, continued on the run, went back inside. Kick wasn't quite as good. Put his teammate there under pressure, O'Connell. He's able to scoop the ball out, but Belpo still with some numbers back now. They work the ball in defence. Collins got the handball outside. Mark will be taken on the far side of the ground, or was it or wasn't it? Yes, it is. It's going to be paid. I think that's Jones. So Jones now looks the ball back inside. Timmy Barton comes up. He takes the mark. Weighing up his option. Hecker's across the ground. Was going to go short. Now decides to take off. Has a bounce. Goes long out towards Hecker. He's going to make him work for it. Ball will bounce and sit up for him. So he's got Fantella leading up the ground for him. Nice kick and mark. So Fantella now has players further down the field. Goes into the hands of James. Got some running options. Decides to take him on. Looks to go outside. Now changes his mind and goes back inside. Looks across. That's a great kick. And it'll go into the hands of Yates. I thought he was going to cop another one. He goes out wide. They move the ball quickly. And again, some good movement of the ball. Ball ends up in their forward half. Mark taken out there by Whitney. And I would think for most others, this might be outside range, but from Whitney, I reckon he's a fair chance to...
Against the win?
Yeah, just right at his level now, I reckon.
I had to laugh at James. He's put the arm out like he's going to handball. We all knew he wasn't going to handball.
So Whitney now will kick from about 45. And again, as I said, kicking back into a slight breeze. Runs that arc. Loads up, and again, he hasn't got the legs there either. Ball lands in the goal square. Mark not taken, so the ball bobbles around. Gardner, I think it was, picked the ball up, tried to push it back through the goals, but it's picked up, and again, they clear the ball from the goal square, come outside, look towards Sheedy. Sheedy went up, again, ball hits the ground, picked up by James, wants to go back on the right side, has the first bounce, goes to the centre, looks long now, loads up, goes long, back towards the square, and again, Mark is not taken, gets out the back, player leading in the race for the ball, and I think that could be... Is it Mead Harding? It is, on the left boot, and goes out wide, and Mark is taken out there by Davis. So Davis coming up, spending a bit more time up the ground, goes to Wexel by hand. He goes back towards centre wing. Good courage out there by Baseley. Just able to get his hands on the ball. Knocked it away. Hecker picks it up. Looks to go back towards centre wing. Again coming up. Davis from behind the play. Got the handball away. Put Cam under a little bit of pressure. He'll get the ball back. Frees his arms. Did that nice in a game. Trowith it was. Got the ball into the forward line. But coming up is Collins, I think it is. He takes the mark. Called the play on now by the umpire. He will go backwards, and he'll find a best player there in Flacavento. Has a couple of teammates working for him. He goes shorter, and that will be okay, because coming up from there is Sable, and he has got the ball. McNamara is looking at his options there, but again, Sable not too sure where he wants to go, so he chips the ball short. Put his teammate Yates under a bit of pressure there, 1 on 3. Ooh. He actually applied the tackle, which was okay, allowed his teammates to get in support. Hecker goes back by hand, and again, they transfer play to Baseley across the ground, and he goes looking towards his teammate there in Andrews. He takes a mark. Little option over the top, short, McNamara. So again, they maintain possession. Has James running past. He calls for the ball, he's given it. Now he wants to go across the ground, and again, it will be okay, because Yates will take the mark at centre half back. So again, they steady things down. Thomson able to slow them down with their movement forward. He's going to go backwards, and they're going to start it all over again. Kick to Flacavento wasn't good, but Flacavento's made it okay. Goes back inside to Muir, who comes up and takes the mark. Called the play on again by the umpire. Now has to move the ball quickly. Good option there, because Barton comes up and presents. So he's inside the centre square as Exel just stands the mark. Called the play on now. He runs. He's kicked. Well, that was a shocking kick. went into their half-forward line. Again, they put a little bit of pressure on out there. Jones leads in the race for the ball, picks it up, got the handball away, didn't hit his teammate. And Thomson have got some numbers around the contest now. Ball comes out the back towards Sheedy. He's taken towards the boundary line. Umpire said that's incorrect tackling. And the free kick will go to Mitch Sheedy, far side of the ground. So we've gone 6, almost 7 minutes, and it's 3-4 Belpost Hill, 3-1 Thomson.
So ball's kicked in, it goes long to centre wing. There's a bit of jostling there, and Jack Gates takes a very strong mark using his body well. Kicks into the middle of the ground, looking for Muir. Finds him. Muir kicks wide. Out, punched away cleverly there by Gardner. Opens up the space for O'Connell. He's tackled as he tries to grab it. He's still using his body, but Belpost Hill, a young defender there, Andrews has done a very good job. Wins it back for his team. Gets a hand pass back himself. Kicks long down the line, but that hasn't landed real well. O'Callaghan can't hold it for Thomson. Hand pass comes out quickly, wins it back again. This is Salajan now. Kicks long down the line, but waiting underneath it is basically for Thomson. For Belpost Hill, kicks into the middle of the ground. And Tim Barton, who's had a very good quarter running up in the middle of the ground to offer support for teammates. He's got it again. Gets it across to Jones on the half-forward line. Punched away from Ettridge by Sheedy, and will go over the boundary line for a throw-in. Far side of the ground now. Got across there in a flash. I don't think the ball spent too much time inside the 50-metre arc at any stage this quarter. We've seen everything right in front of us through the middle of the ground. Both sides' defences holding up really, really well in this tense quarter. No change to the quarter-time score. 3-point lead still to Belpost Hill. Over the back of the pack is Barton. Hand passes to a teammate. He can't get away there. Bobbles out again. Coming through now is Sable. Sable is an up and under with Wynn gets the ball. Punched away from Page there over the boundary line. 60 metres round from Belpost Hill goal. We'll have a boundary throw in far side of the ground. And that wind is definitely having an effect on the anything kicked up high, Grubby.
Yeah, as soon as it goes high, even when Dylan Whitney went for the shot at goal, and Smithy said he could get it, I did worry about the wind, and because he kicked it high, that's what stopped it.
Yeah, so we're definitely at an advantage here. Callahan runs over the ball. The ball is kicked off the ground, and Luke Mann fortuitously stands in the right spot. Goes to Costello. He can't win the ball. Vasurka comes in quickly, kicks forward for Belpost Hill, and he has found the chest of Will Ford, who received a fair bit of pressure from Maguire.
That's what's called making him earn it.
Yeah,
Yeah, make him earn it. You got to do that.
But the competition leading goal kicker will go back. He has 70 for the season already. He's directly in front, only 10 metres out. Should extend his team's lead and kick his 71st goal for the season. Will Ford came across to the club from Winchelsea. Drop punt directly in front, right over the goal umpire's head. He lets Mr. Maguire know that he wasted all that effort because I'm not hurt and I've just kicked the goal, so you look like a goose. But that's just part of the great game of footy. Thomson 9 points in arrears now, 4-4-28, 3-1-19. And we've just gone 10 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
That's the old fullback style, isn't it? You give them rubber the nose in the dirt, but make sure you know they're there. So not so much for this time, but for next time. That was a very, very important goal against the win for Belpost Hill, but it started out here at centre-half forward. You know, when I say, blokes just kick the ball off the ground, and 90% it goes to the opposition, well, this was one of the 10% ones that landed right on a Belpost Hill boy's chest. So it's a little bit lucky, but, you know, when you're playing footy like this, you need luck.
So back in the league this time the ball taken from Cam. He goes back and the handball is intercepted.
No
Barton has won possession of it. He's tackled and brought to ground. Umpire said maybe no prior opportunity there.
And there wasn't. That's good umpiring.
Ball will come back to the umpire. It's still in the middle of the ground. Again, Barton to his feet now and Cam up over the top. Goes interception there. It was well done by Sable. Kicks the ball out. Goes towards Mann. He leads in the race for the ball. He's got support behind him. And Benny Mule will be that play. He picks the ball up, goes it to the circuit, but it's Exel that intercepts the ball, and he decides to go long into their half-forward line, going back. McNamara, ball comes out of the contest, runs towards his teammate there in green. He can't pick the ball up. McNamara did, got the handball back towards Collins. He picked it up, put it down, maybe lucky to get away with that. Again, umpires allowed things to play. Oh, that was a scoop between the legs.
That's a throw.
Yeah, it left the ground, so it probably was a throw, and that was by Mead Harding, and free kick will go to Bo McNamara. So they've been able to hold up pretty nicely in their back end so far. Ball comes out towards Collins. Further afield, he has Muir, goes in that direction.
Ooh,
set a bit of a
that's
target.
a terrible
Went
kick.
straight over his top of his head. Ends up in the hands there of Plant. He goes back, right back to Kelly. Kelly now looks back inside. Good kick to Cam. So he's got runners behind him, ignores that one now, decides to play on, and he goes long towards the goal square. Bellpost still with all the numbers back, and the mark will be taken out there by Andrews, and he can play on from the back pocket. Takes a bounce, looks up, has an option, and uses it, and that is James. Didn't hit him on the chest, but he's able to go back and collect it. Tried to sell a bit of candy. Well tackled there by Sheedy. That's a great tackle. Works hard again. Lays another tackle. Went back to James. He doesn't want to use his right foot, which is unusual because that's what he's pretty good at. And he looks to go down the boundary line now. Kick was off line and out of bounds on the full. Free kick's going to go to the Thomson side. I reckon that's Cam that's going to take the free kick out there. So he has the ball. Just forward of his centre winger. Decides to kick long back into their forward line. Ball from Hecker is spoiled and goes back over the boundary line. And again, the ball will be thrown in. So Bellpost still are 4-4-28. Thomson on 3-1-19.
Bad umpiring.
And we have gone almost 13 minutes.
Bad umpiring.
Second quarter.
That was cost Thomson a goal. The bloke on the mark ran off his line to chase the player who went past, but he's supposed to be standing. Then the umpire called play on. That should have been 50 and in the goal square for Thomson. That should have been.
Throw in now. Sam Green bursts through the pack, tries to win possession, gets it to a teammate. He's tackled immediately. Ball wobbles out. The umpire has said Bellpost Hill player Whitney was held without it. And Whitney will take the free kick in the back pocket for
Look at that.
for the Bellpost Hill team. Kicks it down the ground and finds Barton, who's again presented around the middle of the ground for his defenders as an out, and they've used him again. Quickly to Costello. He kicks down the middle of the ground to Muir, who's been very effective again. Across to Baseley. He kicks down looking for Ettridge, but coming out. Thomson defenders punch it away from him. They're running on the ball now, three of them there. They win the ball. Oh, that's an up and under hopeful kick. Goes over the back of the pack. Fantella takes the mark.
He's paid it.
But the umpire has paid a push in the back to Davis.
I think I would have paid it too, just quietly.
And he has wasted a bit of time getting it to him, and that's going to cost him.
Yeah, but because he was standing 35 metres back, he couldn't throw it to him on the distance.
So that's been taken back. He'll now be kicking from about 25 metres out, almost directly in front, Davis.
Wow.
And we saw him play a very good game at centre-half back in this corresponding match earlier in the year. But today he's back in the more accustomed position at centre-half forward, taking his first shot at goal for the day. And this is an important one, keeping his team in touch. They're trailing by 9 points at the moment, so this is vital in the context of the game with 14 minutes gone. Davis comes back, leaves the foot, and it has faded away to the right.
I think it's a goal.
Likes it. It is a goal. So that's Thomson's fourth for the afternoon. 4-1-19, Bellpost Hill 4-4-28. That's 15 minutes gone. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
Well, that might have been the one they were owed, I reckon, because he's standing on the mark saying, I can't throw the ball back 35 metres. Davis went right back. And because he didn't get it back in time, like if he throws it back to him and it bounces before him, he's got 50 anyway. So the poor bugger had no idea. I think umpires' common sense should say, well, all right, come up and get it. You're not going to take your kick from back there. But it's probably the other thing, the way the goal umpire ran across there, I thought, well, he's missed. But he's run right across and then given a goal. I know what they've got to do, but, gee, it annoys you.
Ball back in the middle, and again, it was Sheedy who got the interception, couldn't clear the pack, picked up there by Whitney. Got the handball out the back. Went back to Baseley. A little bit of time and space. He kicked to Barton. Wasn't good. Barton picks the ball up. Went to Yates. Hey, that wasn't good. Yates' pickup was excellent. He goes into their half-forward line. Of a hold there. Yep, absolutely had to be. And Salajan is going to be the recipient of the free kick. So he looks to come club room side, asking a player to come at him. Goes over the top. The mark will be taken out there by Kelly. Kelly on the half-back line. Again, he looks towards centre wing now. Kick wasn't great for Circuit, goes across. He picks the ball up and now has some options. Takes a bounce, got the option. Handballs inside to Muir. Muir went looking for Costello, and again, that kick wasn't great. Picked up out there by Kelly once again. Picked up by Page. Got the handball back towards Yates. He loads up and goes towards the goal square. And went past Ford, picked up there by Maguire. Handball goes off to Ugis. He goes to the back pocket. Donahue, he's interfered with, and free kick goes to that player. So Donahue in the back pocket.
And 50, I think Cosy give him a bit of mouthing, and that's descent, 50-metre penalty.
Looks like the wind at Belmont Reserve has changed at quarter time. East Geelong have kicked 14 goals forward of Belmont's 1 goal 3.
Oh, that sounds like it's got nothing to do with which way the wind's blowing out there.
Yeah, I don't think so. Davis up on centre wing, decides to go long and towards the pocket. Ball gets out the back, and again, player leads in the race for the ball was O'Connell. He didn't want to go out too hard, I didn't think, but the ball has come out the back. Picked up there by Andrews, got the handball, the running player, and Baseley. Baseley looks toward the further downfield. Good kick and marked out, taken out there by Whitney. So Dill Whitney now looking to play on. He decides to go to the far side of the ground. Fantella, he takes the mark. And he used to play that side a hell of a lot when he was here and stayed there all day. Ball comes back inside to McNamara. And he plays on, goes short option. They lead up, play is good. This time to Page. Page now looking for some options further afield. Not too many at this stage. Goes short. Kick had to be good and was. Mark has been taken out there. Maybe Sable.
Flacavento.
No, I don't think it's Sulik's coming back to play.
So the ball on the far side of the ground. He decides now he's going to go to the pocket. Went looking for Cozzy, but going through and take the mark. I think it's Kelly. Now he's going to come across the goals. Now this could be dangerous because Will Ford
just
got over the top into the hands of Donahue. He runs now and carries and goes straight up the ground. Good kick, good mark taken there by Sheedy, and he plays on and goes further afield. Green's got to take the marks. He's got 2-on-1. He's done so. So he's got no one further afield.
No one home,
decides to go towards goal. Has he got the distance? Yes, he has, and he's also got the accuracy.
What a great goal!
So Sam Green has got goal number 2 and the 5th for Thomson. They are 5-1. They lead Bellpost Hill 4-4. 18 gone. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, second quarter scoreboard.
You know, in AFL football, when they do that and you see them go sideways because there's just nobody home, he saw that there was no one home and said, I don't care. I'm just going to kick it as close to the goals as I can. If it goes through, it goes through. It's the goal of the day. And if it doesn't, it just misses. And he kicked a goal that's put him back in front. And that's a great bit of football. Not just a great kick from what he did, but just a great bit of thinking. Knowing there wasn't anyone back there, let's just hope it bounces through. So that was pretty good footy by the boy.
So,
sorry. The other thing, too, is I know we're bagging Belmont a little bit about the score. They had 2 laid outs, too. One of the Evans boys and Brent Jarks ain't playing out there today either. Well, late pull out, so.
Okay. We have another ball up. James comes through. He's tackled immediately. Umpire said you took him on, and Gardner will take the free kick. I think it is for Thomson. No, it wasn't
Sheedy.
Gardner. It was Sheedy. He kicks long into the forward line. It's come over the back of the pack. Great bit of defensive work there by Sable. Stops that ball from going further towards the Thomson goal. It's Gardner this time who gets it, but his kick is smothered and goes over the boundary line in the forward pocket. And there'll be a throw in just underneath the scoreboard showing 28 Bellpost Hill, 31 Thomson. And we are 20 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter. Throw in comes now. Green, it is doing ruck work with Barton. Neither player touches it. Gets onto the foot of
Another one.
Mead Harding, who's had a pretty good year in front of goal for the Thomson side. Left foot snap across the shoulder. That's their 6 for the afternoon. 6-1-37 now, Bellpost Hill 4-4-28. 20 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
Well, he was just about to run off the ground for his rotation, and all of a sudden he thought, nah, bugger this. I better kick a goal before I go. And that's exactly what he did. He just snapped. And they're using that wind. They're just kicking it. And they're kicking it straight from a long way out. There's 2 goals now from a long, long way out. And it's very hard to defend that. I tell you what, this could turn out to be an absolute cracker. They need another one now, Bellpost Hill, just to try and square the ledger a bit. and get one against the wind.
It's Mead Harding's 33rd goal for the year, so he's been a very productive forward
Very good.
for the for the Thomson team to support Freeman, who's kicked 37, but he's not out there today.
Missed a few,
so they have to lift. Back in the middle now, Cam and Barton. Neither really gets an effective tap out. For that reason, the ball just hits the deck. Players jump on top of it, and we'll have a secondary ball up. Still very much in the centre circle. Barton and Cam. Barton tries to bang it forward, doesn't really get it. Axel comes through for Thomson, picks it up, tackled immediately. Players jump on top of him. The umpire is circling. He said no prior opportunity. Let's have another go at it. So the third ball up. We've only moved about 7 or 8 metres towards Bellpost Hill goal, and they'll be desperate to get one against the wind. Barton slaps it quickly. The umpire suggested some shepherding there by Yates. Got Cam out of the contest, and he has been penalised. Zach Plant gets a kick from Cam. Kicks a low drop punt into the forward line. A beautiful kick of the football, not marked. Kelly's grabbed immediately, tackled, and we'll have a secondary, another ball up, sorry.
No, they're not black armbands, Smithy. They're blue.
That's what I said.
They're there for something else.
That's what I said. I asked what they were for.
Yeah, no, they're for something else. I'll find out. I know. I can't.
Cam gets a left-hander to Plant. He releases a lovely little hand pass over the back to a teammate there who kicks it forward. Ball bobbles out. Green again. Green and Davis in there battling very hard, but coming out for Bellpost Hill and kicking clear towards youngster there. Costello does really well. This is a very fleet of foot young player in Jones. He goes further forward. Coming out is Kerins. He's grabbed without the ball. The umpire has let play go on. Over the boundary line, we'll have a throw in. Just in front of the Thomson coach's box, which I'm sure Paul Lynch will be a very, very happy man at this stage. So waiting for a throw in. Bellpost in attack. 23 minutes into the quarter. Barton gets front position, gets it down. Coming through again is Jones. Long hand pass by Sable, releases Costello. He puts a drop punt in the path of Will Ford. Punched away from him by Maguire. Picking up the crumb, though, very quickly was basically over the back of the pack. Kicked off the ground by Page, and that is a goal to Bellpost Hill, and a very, very important one. Their fifth for the afternoon. 5-4-34. Thomson are 6-1-37. That's 23 minutes into Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
They were always in trouble when Costello got the ball, because you know he's going to put it. Will Ford today has been beaten because the ball hasn't been in over his head. He put it in front of him, and he gave the Bellpost Hill blokes a chance. And in the end, unselfishness nearly cost him a goal, because Page was going to leave it, then realised that he couldn't leave it, and lucky to get a boot to it. But in that situation, even with his experience, you've got to be selfless. You've got to just grab it first up and kick a goal. But he got the goal anyway, which was a really well-needed one, and well-needed for us in the commentary box too, for only 4 points the difference. Or 3, or whatever it is.
Blood rule now. Zach Plant coming from the ground. So we'll wait till he gets replaced.
Now, they're not allowed to bounce the ball until he gets back into the centre.
Yeah, I think they're going to wait till...
they have to. That's the rule. That's the rule. They're right on it, these blokes.
It didn't have to be the player coming on to replace him. Could the wingman go in and he come to the wings?
Yes, but as long as he's off the ground and the other bloke's back where the bloke got sent from.
Yep. So we're back in the middle now. Umpire now to restart play. Ball goes up. Cam taps the ball down. Interception there may have been Whitney, who was in there, back on the ground. And again, ball not coming out of that contest. And we're going to have a throw out to take place right in the centre circle again. So Barton doing the ruck work, and Cam also there. Barton gets the ball down, goes to Whitney. He was tackled, probably he didn't have the ball, taps it though, kept it alive into the hands of Muir. Puts boot the ball, goes into their half-forward line, breeding the ball nicely. Mark taken out there. Maybe Uges, he comes across the ground, goes towards Donahue, takes the mark, and he's got a player further afield. Sheedy, it is, and he will take the mark and continue on. This is Jackson, and he's looking to deliver the ball into their forward line. That's a great kick, just short of where his teammate and Davis would have preferred it to be, but he's over the top of the ball, sits over it now. Now he's got to be in trouble. So I think he's had an opportunity. He's dived on it, dragged it back in, and that's probably a good decision by the umpire.
Experience goes a long way. And Bo McNamara just sat off him then and did everything right. He could have given a free kick away, but too experienced and finished up getting the kick himself. Well done.
So McNamara now has got got too many options.
Ooh.
Kick that wasn't too great either,
That's
but
a
it's going to
great
work.
pass to Davis.
It's going to work okay because it's coming off in the hands of Andrews, and he plays on now. Runs, kicks towards centre half forward, going up there, take the mark. Ettridge had a couple of goes at it, tried to keep the ball alive, did that okay. Ball at centre half back, picked up and cleared by Trowath. He goes back towards centre wing, going crosses Benny Muir, has a player outside in Barton, got the handball to Whitney. Whitney on his left boot now, looks up, looks at his options, goes long, went towards Costello. He comes out, makes the contest. That was well ridden at ground level there, but it's picked up. I think it was Kerrins that may have been the player that collected the ball, but he was tackled straight away.
He's going to pay a free kick for holding the ball here.
Well, he didn't have any prior opportunity there.
No, it's whether he dragged it in or not, because he was the last man up, and whether he dragged, I didn't see him drag it in.
Anyway, he's got the free kick, and it was Uji. He take the ball, and he delivered the ball outside and went towards a teammate out there. I think it was Kerslake, brings the ball back inside. This is Exel. And he's now just settled things down at centre half back. Decides to go longer and out towards the centre wing. Going across, Mark is not taken out there by McNamara, picked up by Hecker. He tried to get the handball away, didn't travel too far. He's been able to go back and lay another tackle there now, and the ball is still in that same area, but again, looks like it's not going to come out. Umpires allowed things to continue. Now he comes in and takes possession of the ball.
Well, the idea here when you get tackled like that is to keep your feet, because the way they're umpiring is when you do go to ground, they're going to play holding the ball. So stay on your feet as long as you can.
So umpire throws the ball. This time Cam taps the ball down again. It's Belpost Hill who take the first out of there. It may have been Sable, but again the ball is going back and will come back to the umpire. And we're going to have another restart of the play. Similar position to the last. The ball is thrown up very quickly once again. The game's out this time and again. There's been a free kick. It's awarded to Timmy Barton. I'm not too sure what the umpire indicated there.
Got him over the shoulder, he said.
Okay, so there you go. So Timmy Barton now has the ball on centre wing. McNamara just cruising down through the middle of the ground. He ignores that and decides to go long and flat as the siren sounds to end the first half here, which will see Belpost Hill go in at 5-4. They'll trail the Thomson side on 6-1, 37. Goal kicks at this stage of the game. One each to all these players. Page, Costello, Whitney, Ford and Ettridge. That's all for the Belpost Hill side, and for Thomson, 2 to Green, 1 each to O'Connell, Cam, Davis and Mead Harding. So a 3-point margin to Thomson at half-time. Take a short break, come back with all the action.
I've just been texted by Spider Brady. Thanks, mate. The blue armbands are for road trauma.
There you go.
Okay, so
we've
thank
been
you
asking
very
that
much
question,
for that.
and you're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Back here at half time. I'm not too sure what's going on here. I was miles away, but we are back, are we? All right, okay. There we are.
The third quarter, brought to you by De Grande's Sports and Cycles.
Yes, and welcome back, Myers Reserve, this afternoon. Pretty cold conditions out here at Myers Reserve, which we don't expect too much else. And it is Belpo still 5-4-34. And Thomson on 6-1-37. So a 3-point margin held here to a straight kicking Thomson side. As I said, goal kickers to this stage of the game. We're all singles for Belpo still. Joel Page, Nick Costello, Dill Whitney, Will Ford and Jade Nettridge. And for the Thomson side, 2 to Sam Green, 1 each to Shane O'Connell, Jordan Cam, Paul Davis and Andrew Mead Harding. So it's been a close contest out here. I'm not too sure my cohorts are, but we'll just soldier on here with both teams back on the ground. And again, just looking for some halftime results, which we'll have with you very shortly. Game has been played in, as I said, pretty good conditions other than a mild breeze which blows from back towards the city end here. And as I said, both teams are going along pretty nicely. We've had some good performances there out there. Travis Maguire's been okay because Will Ford has only kicked the 1 goal to the half-time break. Salajan, a new player coming into the side, has been quite okay. Zach Plant through the middle of the ground. Jordan Cam has been our best player on the Thomson side in the ruck. He's controlled that, going up against Timmy Barton and also Luke Mann. And for the home side, there's probably no better player out there, I wouldn't think, at the moment than Caleb Basley. He's been pretty good right through the first half, and we'll be looking to continue that in the second half. Rob, we got some half-time scores there, have we, mate?
Well done, Dale. You've been plugging beautifully in our absence.
Plugging's the word.
Werribee Central's 2-3-15, Inverleigh 5-8-38. Bannockburn 4-4-28, Geelong West 3-4-22. North Geelong Corio in a ding-a-dong battle, 3-8-26 North Geelong, Corio 4-5-29. And it's ugly at Belmont. The home side have kicked 1 goal, 5-11, but East Geelong have kicked 17 goals, 5-104. 3-point margin here, and Winchelsea have kicked away from Anarchy 9-6 to 1-2. And I might just check on my old side, Mottawari, because I think they might have their noses in front of Torquay, and I reckon Grubby picked that this morning. He did. He nodding.
Yeah, I did. I've just been trying to get out of it with Andy Barrett. Geez, you get me in some trouble.
I got you in trouble.
Oh.
I got you into trouble.
Yes, you did.
How did I manage that?
Because you made a bit of a joke about when we couldn't find the numbers. Well, I hope they're registered or something like that. Oh, Andy's grabbed me. Actually, I can't.
Here's the man at the centre of the... Glenn Myers has confirmed that Thomson are playing unregistered players here today. No, that's a joke. No, that is a joke. That is a joke. We are back in the middle of the ground, and Dale Smith, who's done a superb job and like a seasoned veteran of the radio, to get us out of a hole. Well done to you, and get the second half underway.
Yes, not too far away now. Umpire has the ball in hand, just making sure all matters around the ground are clear, which hopefully he will now see. We've got one operator on the far side just getting towards the car, but he says that's okay. Ball has been thrown in the air and play go at it. The ruckman, Cam, again, takes the ruck contest. Again, Yates lays the first tackle of the second half. Player not coming out of that tackle, so it'll come back to the umpire and we'll repeat the ball up. Still in the middle of the ground. Zach Plant it may have gone to. This time, man up over the top. Now it's a Shepherd. It's going to go... He indicated to Shepherd then, yet Yates, man was in the air, so I'm not too sure how he shepherded, but anyway. Goes to Jordan Cam, and right in the middle of the ground. So he's now looking to deliver the ball long into the forward line of the Thomson side, and he does, he goes long. McNamara is in front. Player works his way to the front was Davis. Ball comes to the front, is picked up. Handball comes back towards Shooty. That's Jackson. He was tackled immediately, and again, umpire in very quickly to restart play. True centre forward position. Thompson's attacking it at the moment. with Mann pushing down to do the ruck work. Cam is also there. He gets the hand on the ball, taps it forward, kicked off the ground there, and in danger, says the umpire. So Zach Plant will win possession of the ball 30 metres out, almost directly in front, and this would be a positive start for Thomson in this third quarter. Hasn't troubled the scoreboard to date, but his field kicking is generally good, so I would think this should be okay. Distance-wise, accuracy also there. He goes back. Comes in now, and as I said, from about 30 metres out, almost directly in front of goal. Distance is there, accuracy is not, and he's off to the side. So the first score of the second half is Thomson is a minor. They move to 6-2. Thomson are on 5-4, and we have gone almost 2 minutes to Granny Stockton Sports third quarter.
So Belpost Hill have the ball deep in defence. It's basically kicks out into the pocket and finds, I think that's Tim Barton on the far side of the ground. And Barton kicks long and strong with the aid of this breeze, looking for a teammate. Saligan can't hold the mark, going back for Thomson. Quickly picked up and kicked forward by Andrews for Belpost Hill, but the wind's got hold of it, pushed it over the line, out on the full, and Thomson win back possession on the far side.
He called deliberate, has he?
I think it was out in the full, wasn't it?
Oh, well, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely out in the full. I saw the little boundary umpire with his arms extended. So Thomson now, neat little kick forward, and that is a very good mark by Plant. Gets around onto that left foot. It's a beautiful low pass, not quite getting to Gardner. Barton picks up a miscued hand pass, comes back to Exel. He kicks into true centre half forward. Players jostling for position. Berserker wins the ball, just kicks before tackled and gets it back to the wing where Barton takes a mark on the far side of the ground here. Looking for some options. Waiting, and has kicked it forward and pushing up to take a mark is Dylan Whitney, the reigning Neville Whitley medalist. He kicks down the line. Kerrins comes forward, drops what he should have taken. There's a push in the back that wasn't paid. Ball comes out to Muir. He can't take possession. Players jump on top of the ball. The umpire circling around, and he's going to ball it up. We're still on the centre wing. Again, the game's being played mostly in the middle of the ground today. Any foray forward is limited, but usually pretty darn successful. The ball's tapped down by Cam. Doesn't really go anywhere. Quick kick out of the pack going forward. Saligan at the back of the pack can't hold the mark. Quickly kicked off the ground. Lands with forward. He can't quite take the mark. This time he handballs, but probably not the right time to Ettridge. But Ettridge is good enough to jostle his opponent out of position, grab the ball, give himself some space and kick a very important goal over his head that puts his side in the lead. 6-4-40. Thomson are 6-2-38. 4 minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter.
Young Will Ford, he didn't handball earlier in the game, then he probably handballed when he should have kicked, but great body work, Jaden Ettridge. Look, he's going to struggle for a little while because I've noticed when the ball hits the ground, he can't run and chase after it. He hasn't quite got the fitness in his legs that needed at GDFL senior level at the moment, but his brains and his smarts and his strength were all to the fore then, and he kicked a lovely goal.
A very important one. They need to take much more advantage of the breeze this quarter than they did in the first. To put them in a lot of trouble, but they've started off particularly well. Mann's back in the ruck now. Barton has moved back to centre half forward, which could be a very important ploy. He's certainly been one of Belpost Hill better players today. Grubby, you've been happy with his form. You would have seen a lot of great footy from him over the years.
Yeah, look, I honestly believe they have to use him as a key centre half forward or key centre half back even. But in the ruck, and he's done a good job in the ruck, but I know you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, but you just can't do it all day. And when Mann started off the ruck early in the first quarter, Jordan Camp had a good run at it. He was putting it down the chest of his teammates. So Mann has got to go up with absolutely no intention of trying to win the tap out and give it to somebody. Just get up and block and just try and nullify the work that Cam's doing in the centre bounces.
So the ball's thrown up again by the umpire. Cam knocks the ball down again. Again, Bellpost still run into it. Yates tapped it further afield, picked up by Hecker. On the left boot, he goes outside. Mark not taken out there, but it's going to be cleaned up there. Uji's got the handball back inside the Plant. Plant looking for some options. Actually went back outside, which is a funny sort of kick, and he turned it straight back over, and it went straight into the hands of Timmy Barton. So Barton now on the far side of the ground, half forward line, goes long into the forward line. Ettridge was coming back, couldn't take the mark, and the ball runs over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw-in. Only 10 metres around from the behind post, so a good position for Bellpost Hill at their attacking end again. As Barton pushes down to do the ruck work now. Cam is also with him. The ball thrown back in by the umpires. We said Barton front position. Cam over the top, just taps it back towards the boundary line. Picked up out there. Whitney got the handball away. Brings the ball back in towards Exel. Needs to get rid of the ball. Did so. Again, didn't clear the pack too far, but again, they have some numbers around it. Cam got the handball back outside to Donahue. His kick was smothered by McNamara. He picked the ball up, then left it behind. Picked up this time. Kerins also had a go at it. McNamara got hands to the ball. Yates' kick was smothered. Goes back outside to the hands of Plant. He goes further afield to Gardner. Gardner runs now as the umpire calls advantage. He takes a second bounce on centre wing. Looks to deliver the ball into the forward line. Kick had a bit too much on it. Went back over the back. Heckard was the first to arrive. Got the handball back inside to Collins. He went and walked a bit of blade of grass there. Don't know what he was looking at. But anyway, Muir has the ball now. He goes back outside. The kick was okay. Mark has been taken
Who's
out
Collins?
there. Collins.
Yeah. Thought he was in Darwin. Or Cairns.
Yeah, that would be Quinn.
Oh, Quinn, is it? Yeah, Quinn. Dr. Quinn.
Dr. Quinn, yep.
Ball on the centre wing now taken by Donahue. I think I might have called him that before, actually.
Yeah, I did, but I thought I'd let you off once, but not twice.
I never thought anything of it, Grub. So the ball goes back inside. This time it's green. No, it's purple and green. No, purple and yellow. But green now goes quickly into the forward line. Basically front position. Doesn't take the mark. Ball comes out again. Umpire says high tackle. And the free kick is going to go to Cam. It must have been high because he's nearly the tallest bloke out there this afternoon. So from about the centre half forward position, he needs to go back and kick the ball every bit of 45. Breeze may be still as strong as it was in the first half. So again, I'm not too sure he's kicking prowess, but he will need every bit of that 45. As we said, he's looking for some sort of options. They are there, but he's ignoring them.
Hard and low. As soon as he puts it high, the wind will take effect.
He's looking pretty confident out there. I've got me some doubts here, but he loads up. He goes long. It will land in the square. Mark, will it be taken? I think over the top, the mark has been taken. And I reckon it's O'Halloran with the ball. And O'Halloran will come out, and he is marked right in the goal square and go back and should kick the 7th goal for the Thomson side.
Jeez, I reckon if I was full-back for Bellpost Hill, I might have been a bit filthy on that.
Well,
He had
they
a big
were.
chunk of it early.
They were. It's a wonder he didn't get 50 because he was telling him so, because the Bellpost Hill player had it first, didn't he?
Had a big chunk of it, yeah.
So Halloran now from the goal square goes back. He kicks the goal and will gain the lead for the Thomson side. They are now 7-2. They lead Bellpost Hill on 6-4, and we have gone 9 minutes to Granny Cycling Sports third quarter scoreboard.
Excellent. 9 minutes, third quarter. I'm going to write that down so I can have a look at the video, because I was sure it was a Bellpost Hill mark. But he was a lot closer than me, and they've got the goal that they needed against the wind again. But I don't know if the wind's going to play much part in this today, because no matter who's had the wind, it's been hard, close and good all day. So maybe that might be the story of the whole game.
So centre bounce again. It's a 4-point lead to the visitors, Thomson. And this the important third quarter. Cam again gets it down, but to O'Connell, but immediately tackled. And we'll have a secondary ball up. We're still in the centre circle. Mann's now not even worried too much. He's following Grubby's instructions, just trying to be defensive. Sable kicks forward quickly for Bellpost Hill. Barton gets it almost straight up in the air, pushing forwards trying to get under it. Over the back of the pack, Exel and Costello go for the ball, but it beats them over the boundary line.
Well, Exel went for the ball. Of course he didn't.
We're just crossed the 10-minute mark. Thomson 4 points in front, and we're in the Buckley's Entertainment. No, De Grande Sport and Cycle, third quarter we are now. Throwing goes up. Costello now, that's going to be a penalty.
No, they brought it back.
I was going to say, is Costello allowed to run in and take it if he's not one of the nominated ruckmen?
No. It should be a free kick to Thomson.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, the boundary umpire has been instructed to throw it back in because his first effort wasn't acceptable according to the central umpire.
Well, that's fair enough. That's saved Bellpost Hill, because if he lets the play go, then he has to pay a free kick for Thomson for the non-nominated ruckman going for the ball.
Yeah, definitely. So Cam is the man and Barton is the man for Bellpost Hill. That one's also short. Barton arrives and get a little bit of a hand to it. Exels grabs it, but he's tackled immediately.
Why
Chicken
was
wing.
it short? Now, why was it short? The first one goes like that. Don't you come in about 5 paces and make sure you get to the next contest?
You would have thought so. Ball comes over the back of the pack. The umpire has waved the hand. He's found another free kick. It's another high tackle. And Jordan Cam is holding his head. So this one he might have got a bit of a whack in the pack. So the big, lanky Thomson ruckman, who's been pretty handy this afternoon, is going to take a free kick in the back pocket. He's going to go across the ground. Sees a teammate out there on his own, and that is Maguire, who does a very good job to mark that in front of Ford. That's a 50-metre penalty. Ford was dancing around, not standing as he was instructed, and Maguire will be dragged down to the other side of the set. He'll be now kicking his team into the 50-metre arc. He now plays on. He's going to kick the ball looking for Green. Green goes up the back of the pack, punched away. Crumbs coming out the back, picked up and kicked very quickly there by Irwin.
On the full.
But it's out of bounds on the full forward pocket. Another wasted opportunity for Thomson, kicking into the breeze. They're holding a 4-point lead. And we're coming up to the 12-minute mark of the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter. So the home side have the ball back in the back pocket. It's Baseley. It's a beautiful drop punt down to the half-back line. Coming through is Ettridge, picks it up. He's tackled immediately, dragged to the ground. The ball comes out of the back of the pack. Thomson get it quickly through Troth. He kicks it forward, but Bellpost Hill win the ball back again. Comes out to Sable. Sable across to Muir. Muir's quick kick.
Not
First
15.
mark, not 15. Zach Plank gets it, hand passes it very quickly to Sheedy. That's Mitch Sheedy, kicks into the half full forward area. Players tackled immediately. Umpires found a high tackle. Flacavento has got his opponent high. And just trying to work out who that is. It looks like the late replacement into the side, Burke. Number 49, and he'll be having a shot for goal. He's on a 45-degree angle, but he's only about 25 metres out, so distance should not be a problem even with the wind. But he's got to kick it awfully sweetly to make sure he brings up an important goal for his team. So Burke now coming in, leaves the boot. The goal umpire goes backwards, goes forwards, but it finishes up in the right spot. And the youngster has a goal, a very popular one. It must be his first goal in senior footy, I'd say, by the look of that, the way his teammates are going to him. And a very important goal because it puts them out to a 10-point lead. 8-2-50, Bellpost Hill 6-4-40, 14 minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter.
Look, I know it's hard. It's so hard these days to lay a proper tackle, but yeah, back there, Jordan Flacavento, he's done a great job today, but he's just gone a little bit high. And it's a gift goal for Thomson. And when you've got this breeze and you're only, 4 points behind, you just can't afford to give it. You watch the other bloke down here tackle beautifully, Bowie.
So the ball from the middle of the ground, it's Bird forward,
Oh,
the hands
he's
to
on in.
Andrews. Andrews goes outside to Page. Page looks up, goes to the pocket. Costello on a lead, and he comes out and takes the mark.
Now he's capable of
that's-
kicking this.
Yeah, he's capable of it, and that was better movement from Bellpost Hill.
Yeah, but I can't understand how 2 or 3 players just stand there from the bounce with not a Thomson player within 35 metres. What happened there? They've lost their structure there for some reason.
So Costello now, bit of an angle to work with here, but again, a player that has been known to kick him from nearly everywhere. And he comes in, kicks towards goal. He's allowed for it, but it's not going to come back anywhere near enough. And through for a minor score. So it is now 6-5 Bellpost Hill, 8-2 to the Thomson side. We've gone 15 minutes. And Mead Harding is going to do the kicking in. He looks to go to the far side and go long. That's what he's done, but Vasika read that flight nicely, got the handball away, was tackled, brought to ground. Handball comes back into the hands of Cam, goes outside to Donahue, but interception was made out there by Andrews. Went back, Donahue over the ball, little boot to ball, but again, didn't travel too far. Player out there was tackled. I think that may have been James. He is brought to ground. Umpire said no prior opportunity, so we're going to have a ball up to take place. So it's thrown up again by the umpire, and again the ball is tapped back by Barton, strongly towards their half-forward line. Exel just taps the ball in front of himself, gets through the contest now, steadies himself, looks towards centre half-forward, goes towards Green, comes up, can't take the mark, goes after it again, picks the ball up, got the handball back outside. Donahue is there, he goes back to Green, Green goes back outside, back to Cam, and he now looks to the half-forward line. Ball, a bit too much weight on it. Mark over the back has been taken by Bell Post Hill, and that is Quinn. Thanks, Grub. Ball to the half-back line, or back to Baseley. Baseley's got a longer option. That was Page. That's a great kick. Runners outside. He uses Andrews, and Andrews now looks to deliver to the half-forward line. In front, Yates. Ball out the back. Hits the ground. Picked up there. Maguire. He rides the bump. Gets the handball away to Scott. Scott gives a kick back towards centre wing. Andrews stands and waits. Probably should have gone at the ball. Page did. Picked the ball up. Went to Baseley. Baseley, little candy. Went over the top. Short kick. And coming up to meet the ball is Barton. Barton's going to spin and go. He's going to go long to the full forward position. Out in front. Ball not marked. Donahue tackled. Ball comes out. Picked up again. Trowith runs from defence. Did that nicely and uses the ball inside to Kerslake. Dropped the chest mark. Ball is picked up there, Sable, and he's got a high tackle. And the free kick will go Bell Post Hill way. So Sable will have the ball.
They were away, Thomson, then. They were away.
Sable now just holding things up. There's no real movement forward of the ball. Now he's got someone short. Don't know who it was, but it's straight to Donahue of Thomson. So Donahue, he now goes and picks up and goes out wide towards Green. Contest is made. Ball comes to ground. Gardner runs onto it. He's got the ball. Needs to pick it up cleanly. Got the handball back to Green, so that's okay. He chips the ball. Was smothered there by Hecker. Ball goes back to the boundary line and will be thrown in. So we tick over 17.5 minutes. It is 6-5-41. Bell Post Hill. Thomson are 8 goals to DeGrande Cycling Sports third quarter scoreboard.
That boy Hecker's done a really good job back there for Bell Post Hill today. Won't have big numbers, but he's done some great stuff like that. Barton gets a little bit of a tap out towards James. He runs onto it. The umpire says ball's crossed the line. We'll have another boundary throw in. It's Cam, who's been pretty much on ball all day today for Thomson. A sterling job. He's had to share duties with Mann and Barton at the moment. Barton gets it over the back of the pack. That's a very clever little ball there to
hold the ball
to his teammate there in Miller. He gets it quickly forward, but coming out is Costello. Bounces over his head a little bit, but excellent work there by Kelly. He's grabbed. The umpire said incorrect disposal, and that is Adrian Fantella who laid that. No, it's not. He's standing here in front of me.
Well, it couldn't be Fantella because he's right here.
He's the man there. It's the one that looks like him. It's Bo McNamara, who's come up from fullback. Now, I don't know how many shots at goal he's had in his distinguished career, but he's having one right now. He's going to kick from bang on the 50-metre line, 45-degree angle, vital goal for the Panthers. Leaves McNamara's foot, and like a good full back, it lands in the forward pocket. Punched away from the pack there. It's Ettridge who is first on it. He's tackled immediately. Crum comes out, quickly kicked away. Running onto the ball is Jones. He gets it back towards Page. Page to Kelly, but Kelly's hand pass is intercepted over the back of the pack. McNamara and Page come at the ball again. Ooh, Page is attacked pretty heavily there. But the ball's gone over the boundary line. We'll have another throw in, forward pocket. 50 metres around from the Bell Post Hill goal. They're in arrears by 9 points. 20 minutes in, so they're going to be desperate to get A, the lead back, and B, build up a buffer for the last quarter. Barton pulls it out of the ruck, kicks it almost straight up in the air. Players waiting underneath it. Muir gets it back to Barton. He kicks it across his shoulder into the back pocket, but coming out to mark the ball is Exel. Exel kicks across goal, and that is a horrible looking kick. It hits the fence on the full, and it will be Costello who will have.
Well, of course it would be.
Probably a shot for goal.
Sneaky little bugger. He knew where it was going. He ran there. That's the fastest I've seen Cosy run all day.
So he's going to do the old cross-the-body kick. The wind will be at his advantage. Barton makes a lead for him. He ignores that. Kicks across his body. It's going to land at the top of the square. Punch through. One behind only. Bell Post Hill go to 6.42. Thomson are 8.250. 20 and a half minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter.
So it's kicking in now as Maguire, and he goes highway side of the ground. Ball goes out wide, coming through. Costello tried to pick the ball up, went back, had a second go at it, got the handball away to Ettridge. Ettridge over the top. Player runs towards goal. It could be Sable. He kicks towards goal. Actually missed it altogether. Goes towards Yate in the pocket. He picks the ball up. A little bit of strength. Kicks back towards the goal square. Missed his target. Coming through there. They try to tap the ball through the goals, and it's going to be tapped through or ran through. And another minor score. So it is now 6-7 Bell Post still. And 8-2 to the Thomson side. So Thomson a little bit of time now to set themselves up. Maguire again plays on. He goes to the far side of the ground once again, going out there. Mark is going to be taken out there, was it? Yes,
No,
it was.
drop.
No, it wasn't, says
Yes.
the umpire.
Yes, he's paid it.
Yes, yeah, now he has paid it. He brings the ball back in quickly. I'm not too sure the mark went to. Again, they have a contest there. Sheedy made it for Thomson and has now turned the ball over. Has picked up there. Kerslake got the handball through the contest, picked up by Barton. And again, Bell Post still over the top of the ball. Umpire will come in quickly because the ball can't get out of there. A ball up to take place just outside their forward 50.
It's got really scrappy all of a sudden, hasn't it?
A little bit, yeah. So the ball tapped out by Barton. Going back, picked up there, McNamara. He must have been shifted forward.
Yeah, he must
but
have
kicks
been.
forward. Salajan, he drops a chest mark. Again, some pressure from behind. Costello's there over the top. Ball's out the back now. Picked up by Maguire. Didn't travel too far. Again, Bell Post still leading the race for the ball. There's a push. It's going to be a free kick. And I think
Bell
it's Mitch
Post.
Miller that's going to be the recipient. So Miller with an opportunity to go back now and kick for goal. This will close things up that little bit more. A couple of easy chest marks been put down.
Well, the last 10 minutes, you can actually get the Benny Hill music going, can't you? It's been... That Salajan's played a ripping game and he drops a chest mark at an under 7. I can't believe that. And let's not put it down. This is a big game and pressure.
So the ball is kicked straight through the middle by Mitch Miller. He has his first of the afternoon. And the 7th Bell Post Hill. They're 7-7. They lead Thomson on 8-2. Sorry, they trail Thomson on 8-2. And we have gone 23 minutes to Granny Silent Sports third quarter scoreboard.
I'm going to forget about the wind because it's been close like this all day. The thing to me is both sides are playing well enough to say they can win. There's neither side you can say they look more of a chance to win than the other here. You know, Thomson looked good for 5 minutes. Bell Post Hill looked good for 5 minutes. If the win does come into effect, then Thomson will win. But I don't think it will. I think both sides have played that's good, hard, tough footy. I know it's got a bit scrappy in the last 10, but maybe they're getting tired. Maybe the pressure's increasing because both sides want to win this game because they want to play GDFL finals this year.
There's no doubt about that, and it's very, very good entertainment for that reason. Cam and Barton. Cam again, but it's intercepted. Dill Whitney gets a hand pass, reels around on the left foot and drops the ball near Kerins. He doesn't quite get it, unfortunately, coming through his troth for the Thomson side. Uses his body to get the ball towards the boundary line, and successfully. And he's done a pretty good job to get that into neutral territory after the initial kick in there looked like favouring Bell Post Hill. So we've got a boundary throw in now. Half-back flank for the Thomson side, desperately defending Barton and Cam. Cam gets it down in the path of Plant. He can't get away though. A pack of players come at it. The ball's pushed and heads over the boundary line again. Inverleigh kick 9-9. Werribee is stuck on 2-3. And Geelong West coming back at Bannockburn. It's 5-4-34 to 6-5-41 in that very important game this afternoon as well. Comes over the back of the pack. Gardner tries to get through the pack. Can't. No, it was actually Sheedy. Dylan Whitney runs onto the ball for Bell Post Hill. Cleverly gets it in front of him. Gets it on the left foot. Puts it into a dangerous position.
Good footy.
Bodies coming from everywhere. And it's Ugis who comes out and takes a relieving mark for Thomson. Kicks across goal and finds Donahue. Green's made a great deal of room on the half-back flank. And he will take the mark in front of Flacavento. So Green sort of plays on. He's been corralled very well by Flacavento. He's forced a hand pass. He wins the ball back after it's fallen loose. Flacavento working very hard for Bell Post Hill, but picked up by Vasurka. He runs it over the boundary line. And that was a little bit of Benny Hill music.
Well,
Graham.
you just missed the opportunity. What you got to do in these tight, tough games is get it and kick it, because if you muck around with it, that's what happens. And now it's still in Bellpost Hill's forward line. Should be up here.
Have a throw in again. Barton, and Cam Barton gets it down to the front of the pack. Green, who's come up from the forward line, he's stayed in this bit of play, trying to win the ball back. It's Sheedy for Thomson. The ball comes over the back to James. He kicks high into the forward line. A pack of players come through. A big fist from Exel. Dylan Whitney picks it up. Oh my goodness gracious me.
They all reckon it's a goal.
Many think it's a goal, but it's actually a behind only. But what a superb bit of play from Dylan Whitney to create something out of nothing. But it's only a one behind.
I was watching the replay. I saw the umpire go like this.
Jeez, I thought that was a goal.
Scores are level according to this, 7-8 to 8-2. We're just waiting on Zachary Plant for the Thomson side to kick the ball back into play.
I thought we were waiting on a score review. Wow.
Thomson have the ball. We're 26 and a half minutes into this De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter, and I'm sure Bellpost Hill will want to be in a better position than that. That is a poor kick by Plant's standards. He's kicked it straight to Jack Yates for Bellpost Hill on the half-forward flank. He's on the 50-metre line. He's going to kick long and strong into the square. Muir's got a good position at the back of the pack. Can't quite hold it. Gets a second go. Tries to kick it off the ground. McNamara comes through. Wins the ball. He's tackled immediately. Not going anywhere. And we'll have a ball up right on the edge of the 10-metre square. This is going to be a desperate defence here from Thomson. Cam's made the hard run to get up there to take this contest. He's with Barton again. Barton grabs it out of the ruck, kicks it, and he has kicked a goal.
Wow.
That was pretty easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just
in the end.
grab it and kick it. But a very important goal. Let's put them that one goal clear. They're 8-8-56. Thomson are 8-2-50, 27 and a half minutes. De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter.
Well, it was a goal they really needed, but you called it right. Like, sometimes the tall defenders will take the ruck when it goes down there, but because it's such a desperate situation, Jordan Cam's gone there to say, well, I'm the man, I'm the best ruckman on the ground, have been all day, I'll go down there and take the tap. And Timmy Barton's actually barged him out of the way and kicked a magnificent goal. And I think now, has Timmy gone into the ruck?
Yeah, he's still in the ruck now.
I think he's into the ruck, so... You know, they obviously believe... And look, as I said before, you'd rather Timmy Barton at centre-half forward or centre-half back. But if it means the difference of getting clearance out of the centre, you have to put him in there because he can nullify the big fella in Cam, where young Luke Mann was just a little bit small.
So back to the umpire now with ball in hand. As I said, 28 minutes. Couldn't be much time left in this quarter. Ball is thrown up in the middle. Ball is tapped out, and again they win possession, and that's through... Sheedy, his handball went through the legs of a couple of players, ends up in the hands of Hecker on the left boot. Kick was smothered, well chased down there by Gardner. Gardner now looks up on the right boot, looked to put the ball into the forward line, coming through Mark. Well, the kick wasn't that great, but it's been made good, picked up out there and kicked back towards goal by O'Connell. It has gone across the face, well across the face, and is out of bounds on the full, so free kick goes to Bellpost Hill.
Bloody hell, he did all the hard work and
had a bit more time too, didn't he?
Yeah, had to give himself plenty of time and then buggered the kick.
So I think it's James down there that's got the resulting free kick. No doubt he will go long out of defence. That's what he's going to do.
That's on the wing.
Goes over the top. Exel up. No attempt to mark, but just pushes the ball back over the boundary line. And we're going to have a throw in on the far side of the ground.
The Winchelsea fast approaching the second century of the day. They're 13-13-91. Anarchy 1-2. East Geelong, they are just going on their merry way. 20 goals, 7, 127. Belmont Lions 3-7. And giving the other two scores, Bannockburn just a kick in front of Geelong West. Sorry, Dale.
That's right. Front yet?
And the ball is in the centre wing position. Barton with his head over the ball, trying to force his way through the contest. I reckon he's gained 5 minutes just on his hands and knees, but the ball is not coming out of there. Now the umpire says he's been pulled up for holding the ball. Free kick is going to go Thompson's way. So as we said, we've gone almost 30 minutes, so there can't be much time. Handball goes off. Running player from behind is kicked up. Plant puts the ball back towards centre forward in front. Marcus not taken. Gets through the contest. Goes outside. Running player is O'Connell. O'Connell goes in, and he has kicked his second goal of the afternoon, and that will tie things up again. 9-2 for the the Thomson side. 8-8 to Thomson, to Bellpost Hill. one of the two. Doesn't matter anyway. They're both in the same score at
Both on the
56,
same-
and we've gone just over 30 minutes.
Well, let me do this for you. They're both 56. Righto.
One goal each and they'll be level.
Well, 30 minutes in with not many goals kicked. I don't know where all this time on's come, but I hope it keeps coming because both sides are giving it their all. And wind or no wind, you don't want to start the last quarter having to come from behind, even if it's only one goal, because you've got to kick one before you start. So that's a tremendously great advantage of a goal for the Tommy Tigers.
In the middle now, Cam gets it down. Zach Plant, who's done a pretty good job. That's a hashed handball. Will Ford, who's come up the ground, kicks it across his body into the pocket, looking for Costello, and finds him on a long lead.
Well,
and Nick
guess
Costello passes into the middle of the ground, and that has found Jack Yates. His captain's 45-degree angle. He will be about 40 metres, 35 metres when he kicks the ball.
Well, I don't think we are going in at three-quarter time level.
There's never been a more vital kick for goal in this man's career, unless, of course, he's had one after the siren at some stage.
I don't know. I doubt it.
So Jack Yates, the captain of Bellpost Hill, sides fortunes on his shoulders. The ball leaves his foot on the siren, but fades away to the right. And the home side will take a 1-point lead into the final quarter, but they will be coming home against a pretty strong and, I reckon, increasing breeze here at the Bellpost Hill Oval. Dale Smith, give us some goal kickers.
Yes, goal kickers to the three-quarter time. It's 2 to Jaden Ettridge, 1 each to Page, Miller, Barton, Costello, Whitney and Ford. And for the Thomson side, 2 each to Green and O'Connell, 1 each to Cam, O'Halloran, Davis, Burke and Mead Harding. Take a short break, come back. Final quarter action here. My Reserve, you're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
The last quarter, brought to you by Morris Finance.
We're set up for a huge last quarter here at Bellpost Hill. The home side are 1 point in front, but they're kicking against a breeze coming home. Around the grounds before we get to Grubby-Cations. Winchelsea 14-13-97, Anarchy 1-2-8. Said the score here, 1 point. East Geelong, another goal, 21 goals, 8-1-34. Belmont 5-9-39. They seem to be stuck at North Geelong. We had Corio leading by 3 points, but that score hasn't been updated for a while. Bannockburn and Geelong West are in a titanic struggle. The home side, Bannockburn 6-6-42. But West coming hard, 6-4-40. And Werribee Central's a 2-3-15. Inverleigh a 9-9-63. And for an update on the match so far here at the Myers Reserve, Bellpost Hill, Grubby Cations, how have you seen things?
Well, we decided to come here because of the simple fact that it was make or break for both sides. Right, both of them sitting on 5th and 6th, both on the same points, not a lot of percentage, and basically it was who wanted the ball the most was going to win. Well, I'm going to take that back because they both wanted as much as each other. They're both having a go. All right, the pressure in the last half of that last quarter, both sides made plenty of mistakes. They were just fantastic going in for the footy, and that's what you come to the footy to see. And in the end, you look up at the scoreboard, and the scoreboard tells the same tale. 8-9 to 9-2. Don't know which one's which because Smithy buggered it up earlier, but it's 57 to 56. The win does favour Thomson in the last quarter. There's no doubt about that. But for 3 quarters, it hasn't worried them much at all. They both kick goals with it. They've both kicked goals against it. And I tell you what, this could be a ripping last quarter. And it may be the last hurrah for one of these sides.
Now, Grubby, I know you value the importance of a coach, but I'm looking at this Thomson side and I see a lot of really sluggish, foot soldier, nondescript type players playing really good disciplined football. Clearly, Paul Lynch has made a huge difference at the club.
Look, at that club, yes, he has. There's no doubt about that. Although a couple of years ago they had, who were the two boys? The two real...
Yeah, Holmer and
Taylor and
Holwell
and Reece Holwell. They were good coaches too. Tari's a good coach here at Bellpost Hill, and there's plenty of good coaches. So I wouldn't compare the coaches to who wins this game. But you're right, there's a lot of players that were reasonable players, and Lynch has made into better players for the simple fact of what Tari said earlier, roles. Yeah. They've got to play their roles. And there's some blokes who you might not think have had a great lot of the footy, but they've played their role today. And I tell you what, as I said before, both sides, last hurrah, quarter, point the difference. Strap yourselves in because I reckon we've got a great last quarter, and I hope it's close. And I don't care who wins because both sides deserve to win this. But unfortunately, unless it's a draw, only one side can.
Very good point. Very good point. And John Mitchell's got a big smile on his face. I reckon he senses a big scalp here.
Well, he reckons you don't like Thomson. That's what he told me, doesn't he?
He did say that.
Rob Cameron doesn't like Thomson. Johnny Mitchell said that. And now, he just said Bellpost Hill will win by 8 goals, he just said.
Oh, dear me. You got to love country footy, don't you?
Especially the people involved.
Not the players either, the ones on the boundary line.
Well, that doesn't change it here, not with me either. We're at the ball, siren sounded, start of play, final quarter, and it was in for the end of it. It could be curtains for one, but it's in the Bellpost Hill hands. Sable gets the ball outside, goes to his teammate, ends up in the hands of Whitney. Whitney goes out wide, trying to find Kerins, leads in the race for the ball. Ball is tapped towards the boundary line. Boundary line will win out. We're going to have a throw-in to take place early in this last quarter.
The big point here is forward line efficiency. I think Bellpost Hill have added in more times and probably haven't been quite as efficient as the Tigers.
Which is unusual for the way they normally go about things.
Yeah, it is.
So ball thrown back in again quickly by the umpire. Cam taps the ball down. Good read of the contest there. Ends up in the hands of Plant. His kick went round the boundary line. Ends up in the hands of James. Got the handball away. Doesn't do that very often. Into the hands of Whitney. Goes looking for Costello. Great kick, and that was a good mark there by Costello. Called the play on by the umpire. Goes back to James now. Runs inside 50. Normally would kick towards goal. Decided to go out wide. Looking for. Can't find his teammate out there. McNamara arrives. Support. Ball needs to be picked up. It is. And the ball goes over the boundary line. Umpire says, let's throw it back in. Forward pocket. About 20 round from their goal.
I think James, he went on the handball because he was on the left boot. If he had been on the right boot, on the half, he'd have given off.
So it'll be thrown back in, as we said, 20 metres around from the behind post. And Bellpost still with an early opportunity here. Ball is thrown back in. Barton front position. Ball comes out the back. Handball comes out, goes towards Kerslake. He's over the top of the ball, tries to feed the ball out. Actually, Fantella kicked it out of the contest. It's run back inside it now. And with a number of players around, it's not going to... Well, I didn't think it was going to come out. It has come out. Player is now tackled. I think that's Gardner with the ball, and the umpire will come in and take possession. No, it wasn't. It was Young.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, he's run the handball back to the
Yeah,
umpire.
well, that's all that matters.
Was Shooty that had it. The handball comes out. Again, was going to be okay, but intercepted there in the hands of Yates to Andrews. Andrews goes long, back towards the goal square. They fend off, and the ball is going to come to ground. Again, the numbers around the contest, and it's going to be sitting underneath a player. We can't
Someone's
see
got
who
hit
it
in the
is
head
from here.
there too, I think.
Might have been Zach Plant that was in there and collected as he went through. A little bit slow getting off the ground. Umpire just holding play up as the player gets off the ground. He's up. He's right. He says,
Throw it up, mate. Come on.
Going
Move.
okay. The umpire about to restart play. As I said, top of the goal square. Thrown up by the umpire now. Barton has moved himself down there once again. Tried to pick the ball up and barge his way through, but held up very quickly. Back to the umpire. We'll restart things again. Top of the goal square. Tapped out this time by Cam. Comes out towards Davis. He leaves it behind. Picked up by Barton. Went one way. Kick was smothered the other. Goes after it again. Plant got the ball out.
I think he got him by the leg.
Advantage has been paid now as the ball comes outside 50. Marcus taken out there by O'Connell. So O'Connell now outside foot defensive 50 will look to put the ball towards centre wing. Tried to run around the player in the mark. Got the handball away. Was okay. Went towards Kerslake. He got the handball away and goes short. Ends up in the hands of Green. So Green well up the ground from his centre half forward position. Comes back across the goal looking for Plant. Dangerous. Spoil was by Sable. Ball comes to ground. Picked up out there by O'Halloran. His handball's also intercepted. Belpo still an opportunity, but this ball is taken away. Back to James of Belpo still. Round one. Takes a bounce. Takes them on now. Runs. Carries. Kicks long into the forward line. Goes towards Page. Spoil from behind. Ball at
Got a
ground
free
level.
kick,
There's a
Page,
free
you
kick.
reckon?
Yes, he has. You're right there, Grub. Umpire says it's over the shoulder, so Joel Page will go back and kick towards goal.
He actually backed into his opponent and made him put pressure on him, and he touched him on the shoulder, obviously, and that's a little bit of experience by the way he went for that ball, Joel Page.
So the distance here is not going to be a problem. He just needs to polish up the accuracy, and it will be pretty hard from where the wind's blowing out there.
Tough kick.
Yeah, no, he's going to have to take it back against the breeze. But Joel Page, let's have a look at what he can do. He is confident. He's over the ball, kicks that goal. It's going across the face, and Costello's
That's
out the
a
back.
mark, I think.
I think it has. Well, he hasn't paid it. Umpire says no. It's going to be a ball up. I'm not too sure. Looked pretty clean to me. Might be another one to look at. Grub at the 4.5 minute mark of the last quarter.
Get that one up too.
So the ball's tapped out of that ruck contest. Again, comes back, picked up out there.
Around the
High
neck.
tackle. Plant was interfered with, and now he's going to go
It's
back.
the old Joel Selwood lower than knees,
just,
that one.
Just the right time there.
Hope someone gets him tonight.
Oh, come on, Grubby.
Fairly, just knock him out.
So Plant now comes towards centre wing, going across. Marcus not taken out there. Whitney had the ball, and he goes back after it, kicked the ball off the ground, goes back towards the boundary line. Again, we've got a number of players around it. The ball's not going to come out of that contest. Umpire said there's a holding decision, and it's going to go bell post. No, it's going Thompson's way.
I didn't see that.
Yep, Donahue looks like the recipient of the free kick. He's plays on now and goes towards centre wing. Ball.
That's
don't know
a
whether that
free
was
kick.
had to be.
Unrealistic attempt,
Had
I
to
think
be.
they call
Had
that.
to be. And McNamara has the ball. He's got a player inside. That's Jones. Made good position. He takes the mark. We're in the middle of the ground, basically running outside. Fantella short if he wants to go there. And he's going to go there now as Fantella makes good space. He can play on if he wants to. And he looks up, goes short, coming up. Etheridge at the ball, good hands, and he can go back and shoot towards goal. He's played on quickly. He's gone out wide.
That's almost as hard a kick.
Well, I reckon it's probably accuracy-wise. Distance may be only fractionally closer. Is that Dill Whitney?
I think it's...
No, it's Joel Page.
It's Page.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Joel Page. So, again, he's had one practice go at it. So let's tape he's learnt from the last one. Probably a little bit further from the boundary line this time in. Again, distance. He did get the distance, but not the accuracy. Let's have a look at this one. Page comes in, kicks that goal. It is high. It is floating. It is...
Point.
Just off line, one behind. So that makes Bell Post Hill now 8-10. And they lead Thomson on 9-2. We've gone 6.5 minutes, final quarter.
Worries me to have the ball down here for 10 minutes and not score a goal in a forward line that's packed. Gets down here, look out.
Plant kicks in, comes over the back of the pack by Thomson and gone a long, long way back, but it's favoured Andrews for Bellpost Hill, getting a lot of pressure from O'Connell. He does a very good job, gets one out of the way. So O'Connell working hard, but Quinn gets back. Does a very good job to waddle around, but hand passes to Andrews, but Davis had arrived on the scene. He wins the ball back, but it is Matt James who's trying to get away. He's going to be in trouble now.
Gone.
He's had a bounce, and he's been tackled, and he will be penalised. And
well, that's right. I think he just had a hand on him when he bounced the ball. A la Kevin Bartlett, hungry, and you've got to pay that free kick. You have to pay it.
Mead Harding has the ball, and Grubby could be right. Lots of floundering around at one end of the ground for no score, and up the other. And there's a shot at goal within 5 seconds, and it's Mead Harding, who's been a very prolific scorer for Thomson this year. That one's not going to be a big one, but that's a very big mark in the square by Jordan Cam. The ruckman's floated forward.
No dispute in that one.
Couple of big hands well above the rest in the pack. Clearly he runs around, kicks across his body, and that is a goal to the Thomson side. And that is exactly what you told us. It is now 10-2-62. Bellpost Hill 8-10-58. We're 8 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter.
Well, there's probably a couple of reasons why I'm the best special comments man in the business, and that's one of them. That is one of them. What's wrong, Smitty?
No, I'm not saying anything.
That is one of them.
While you're gloating in self-praise, I'll let you know a couple of scores have come online here. Corio are 9 points in front of North Geelong with a 54-45, and Geelong West have hit the front against Bannockburn in that game out there. So there's a couple of important... sorry, Grubby, now you can concentrate on telling us. How good are you at this?
Well, I've done all that. I am only joking because things that you do say at the footy come through once in a blue moon. And if you look up there must be a blue moon because I got one right. But I thought it might happen.
Will forward to the ruck now, so he's up against Cam. Ball comes out of the contest again. Thomson with their first player, hands on ball. That was high. I know that was a good call because I saw Mitch Sheedy get taken high as well. They've allowed play to continue. That's a good kick into the forward line.
Well, they played advantage.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A good kick. O'Connell's out there and he's taken the mark. So he's just outside. Forward 50. He's going to go back and he's indicating he's going to go long towards the goal square. They said good kickings win matches, and that's what Thomson have been able to do this afternoon. They're 10-2. He plays on and kicks from right on 50. That's gone as high as it did long. I think he's going to end up at the top of the square. Forward comes across.
Well, that's a mark.
Well, it's either a mark or interference, I would have thought. Didn't have eyes on the ball. Ball still boggling around at about 15 metres out from goal. And not coming out of that contest. Umpire still circling. He's allowed things to continue. Calling play on still. Again, it still hasn't come out. Surely he's got to call it time and time now.
Now he's dragged it
he's
in.
got to. Yeah, thank God for that. That should happen about 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, I do like him doing it quick because, as I say, I do worry blokes on the bottom of the pack, accidental knee in the back of the ear hole or anything, you know.
So the umpire to restart it, doing the ruck work. Barton's down there.
Hello. There's a holding the man free kick to Thomson.
Well, I thought it was going Thompson's way, but it's going to Timmy Barton.
Thompson's way. Now he's changed.
I reckon that was shepherding in the ruck because Green just bumped Barton out of the road.
So this is balls now in the hands of Jones. He's been okay today, shown a little bit of dash at times. Goes long towards the centre wing in front. There's a holding decision this time. Again, McNamara this time is going to be the recipient. And he gets the ball back from James. Fantella's wide and short. He goes sideways to Andrews. Can run and carry now. He's got plenty of space in front of him, but again, decides just to stand and wait. Barton was going to be the option. Now he's not too sure where he wants to go. Short kick had to be good and was because Costello has the ball. Dill Whitney's asking for it to come to him, but he's not too sure where he has to get it to. Ball, 1-2, back to Costello. Looking for some option, goes back to Barton. Barton now looking to kick around the body, goes long. Coming up to meet the ball is Ettridge. He comes out, can't take the mark. Ball hits the ground, picked up by Donahue. Stripped of the ball was picked up there. Oh, that was a nice bit of work there from Costello. Very slick in the hands, if you can call it that. And it's going to be a free kick.
In the back.
And push in the back. That's right, Grubb. You've called that one right once again. And it's going to go to Dylan Whitney. So Dylan Whitney with the ball. He is still forward of centre wing for Bellpost Hill. And one of his good kicks will put it in scoring distance, but he goes short, but he found Timmy Barton, and I would think Timmy's probably just outside range also, even with the breeze. He goes looking for forward, ball gets out the back, again, ball is picked up out there. I think that was Trowath, got the handball away. Again, it's now in a dangerous position. Thomson player is tackled, he's allowed to go, but the umpire says no. It is now coming back, and that was a good quick call then. About 15 out from the top of the goal square. Ruckman go at it. Ball comes out outside the contest. Picked up. Handball goes forward. And
they're going to play over the shoulder here. They're going to have a shot at goal, the Hill boys.
I reckon this might be Jones as is. Yes, and he can go back and regain the lead for Bellpost Hill if he's able to kick straight. So he's got to kick about 40 metres.
I reckon he had a shot before was ordinary, so he'll have to improve this time.
Zane Jones. No pressure on this young fellow.
None at all.
But a kick of about 40, probably 40 metres. He steps in, kicks at it. He never looked like he was kicked that as soon as it left his boot, but it's going to land just short of the line. The ball has been punched over the line, and now it is out of bounds. So we'll have a throw-in to take place, and we've gone almost 13 minutes. Final quarter, it is 8-10 to Bellpost Hill. Thomson are 10-2. As I said, 13 minutes gone.
That is the Morris Finance scoreboard where that information come from. Boundary throw-in right against the goal, behind post almost. Cam gets it, punches it straight down. McNamara for Bellpost Hill grabs the ball. He ain't going nowhere. And there'll be another ball up in about 15 metres out from goal. Cam again and Barton. Barton actually wins it to Ettridge. He can't get away before he's tackled. It's Page for Bellpost Hill. Gets it cross. Costello picks up a crumb to Fantella. He kicks.
Tell you what.
And kicks a very important goal for Bellpost Hill. And that keeps them within striking distance. They've got one against the wind. They're going to need a few more, but they go to 9-10, 64. Thomson 10-2, 62. 2-point leaders, nearly 14 minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter.
It started to look ominously like it was going to happen again. Have plenty of possession, can't kick a goal, and all of a sudden can Thomson take it down, but it's come out of the pack. And one of the veterans, and I tell you what, and I'm not having a go at him, he's almost done, I reckon, Fantella. He hasn't got a lot of footy left in him, maybe another year, who knows. But the experience to do something like that, kick a goal, I don't know why they left him on his own. He must have got into a good position. Great footy from the veteran, and that's put him in front, and now Thomson have to respond.
So the ball back in the middle. At times Timmy Barton's doing the ruck work. Ball comes out the back, goes towards Baseley, runs at it, kicks the ball off the ground, so he's kept in his view, and he picks the ball up and down, goes back into their half-forward line. Coming up, Mark has been taken out there by Yates. So Yates now has got some options further afield, goes looking towards Costello. Ball is in front, and the mark has been taken out there. Selajan it is, and he goes across the face of goal. Kick is okay. Had to be, and it was. Into the hands of Donohue. Donohue further afield, goes to Gardner. Another good kick, so Gardner now has the ball. They want to move the ball quickly along the boundary line. They've been able to get it towards centre wing, and Cam comes up, presents, and takes the mark. So he's now looking to go that little bit longer, going towards Davis. He sets himself, spoiled from behind, picked up by Flacavento. Had time to steady, stop and go back towards Barton. Ball gets onto the ground. Barton dives on top of it, picked up over the top there by Whitney. Get himself out of trouble and runs over the boundary line, and we'll have a ball in to take place. So right on centre wing.
Very clever. He was gone then. He was going to get holding the ball, and he went to the boundary.
Carve starting to tighten on Dill Whitney. Ball thrown back in. Cam front position. Goes towards Sable. Picked up again by Whitney. High, says the umpire.
That was completely and utterly accidental. And I don't think a free kick. He just dived straight into the bloke's legs who couldn't get out of the way. But there it goes.
And so Whitney now called a play on by the umpire to go short and low forward. Set him a bit of a task. Had to pick the ball up. Well, he's done nicely there. He's been able to keep the ball alive. Now he says there's been a push in the back. So Will Ford is going to be the recipient of the free kick. So Ford now short passes inside. Mark is taken out there this time by Miller. Miller Got some options around outside. He's not too sure what he wants to do, but now he decides to go low and flat towards Yates, but slipping into the position was Davis, and he takes the mark. Davis got the running player on Donahue, uses him now, put him under a little bit of pressure, but he comes back on the left boot, goes back towards centre wing. Uges is there, number of players up, but that's a great mark by Andrews of Bell Post Hill. He comes up and takes the mark. So Andrews now can settle things down again for Bell Post Hill if he wants to. He's going to go short. We'll go to Page, and he takes the mark. You've got McNamara out wide by himself, but decides to go towards a teammate. And Benny Muir, he couldn't complete the mark. Picked up there by Ugis. He delivers the ball high, goes towards Ford, over the boundary line, out of bounds to the full. And free kick will go to that player, Will Ford.
That was a terrible kick to Benny Muir. That put him right under the hammer, gave him no chance.
So Ford now from right in front of where we sit. He's got the ball, and he will drive Bell Post Hill back into attack. Has Hecker behind him if he wants to use him. Not that I'm trying to give some instructions here, I'm just calling what I see. Ball goes along the boundary line. Game mark not taken out there by Ettridge. Picked up there, I think it was Maguire. He's tackled, brought to ground. Umpire going in quickly again. And this time they will have another ball up to take place.
Do you understand going there when you're winning, but 2 points up, you've got to kick another one, don't you?
Yeah,
you
need
have to kick
another couple.
one.
Want to keep attacking. Ball from Sable out of the contest, goes towards Miller. And James it was, he goes round the boundary line. Again, back into their forward half, picked up Exel, went hard at it, couldn't cleanly pick the ball up. So it comes out of the contest, goes back into the hands of Barton. Barton goes wide, good interception out there by Sheedy. Got back and in out of trouble, handballs the ball away, goes to his teammate there in Irwin. He looks back into the middle of the ground. Hecker leads in the race for the ball, picks it up, wants to get back on his left side, got the handball back into the middle. Muir had it taken out of his hands, good work there. Donahue goes and delivers the ball a little bit wider. Teammate couldn't pick it up. Got the handball away to Donahue eventually, but again, Sable worked hard to get back and take it. Muir, he picked it up. Handball out of the contest. Irwin over the top. He might be in trouble here. He has not even tried. He has
holding the ball. He dragged it in.
Had to be a good call there, Grubb. Didn't even try. So Barton up quickly and moves the ball back into their forward line. Anita contest in front. Uji's mark not taken. Goes back and collects it. Got the handball out wide. Salajan's there over the top of the ball. Bell Post Hill now arriving numbers. Got the handball back outside. Goes to Baseley. Baseley back inside. Handball was intercepted there. They turn the ball over. Goes back towards Exel. Puts boot to ball. Back into the middle they go. Barton attacks the ball. Got through the contest. O'Callaghan's there. He picked the ball up. O'Connell it was. He goes long into the forward line, a foot race. Forward, he's going back with the ball. He's got a teammate there in Andrews. Andrews picks the ball up, and he does that nicely. Andrews picks up and goes to the far side of the ground. Vasika out by himself, takes a mark, and can now settle things down for Bell Post Hill. Still plenty of time to go. 20 minutes tick by. 9:10:64. Bell Post Hill. Thomson 10-2-62.
Oh, this is quite the last quarter. Hecker has found space at true centre half back, and he played a pretty handy game today, and he'll hold the ball up for Bell Post Hill.
He's holding it up, but I reckon you need another goal, boys.
That's a low drop punt. It's worked out very well. Coming out, Joel Page takes the mark on the lead. He's inside the centre square. He's on the back end of it, though. He's looking backwards for options, but they really need to keep working the ball forward. So Page kicks out onto the wing. It's a nest of players. His captain Yates can't hold the ball. Vasirka comes through, gets it across to McNamara. He kicks forward, but tackled just as he kicked it, and the ball has landed in the hands of Seligen, who kicks into the middle of the ground, trying to take the mark there. Is young
good footy.
Sheedy. Hand passes back to Plant. Plant gets it, but intercepted by Muir. Quick kick forward, and Seligen takes the relieving mark for Thomson. Finds O'Connell on the half back flank. He tries to get around his teammate, does so successfully, just dragged down as he kicked it, and that means his kick will fall short.
Tried to do too much.
And Matty James has taken the mark for Bell Post Hill, and I thought he might have just got up and tried to play on, but no. He's kicked it 10 metres backwards to Page.
If he kicks it first, he's not under pressure. He tried to do too much and put himself under pressure.
He did indeed. Fantella has come up to take a mark right on the corner of the centre square, going backwards again, kicks across, and marking is Quinn. We're still on the half-back flank. Bell Post still holding possession. Matt James has got the ball now. Matt James now runs around on that familiar long right foot. He'll be looking for Ettridge or Muir. Punched away from the former. Kicked forward there.
Great stop.
Still lands to with Kerslake. He kicks forward, but coming out to take a relieving mark is Fantella for Belpost Hill. He's planted himself back there in the back line. Very experienced player that he is. Kicks it into the pocket, and Andrews takes the mark. So it's pretty clear what the Belpost Hill side are trying to do, and that is to hold possession for as
guess
long as
what?
possible.
One mistake will cost them the game here.
Yep.
One mistake could cost them.
Flacavento finally plays on. He's looking for Kerrins. He can't take the mark, but Dylan Whitney kicks the ball across his body. Costello is the only person in the forward line. He's first to the ball, but punched away from him. Exley gets the ball over the back of the pack to Yates. Yates hand passes to Donahue, and Donahue, neat little kick down the line, finds Zach Plant. They're still on the halfback flank. Thomson trying to mount something. They desperately need to get forward and kick a goal with this breeze at their back. That's a very good mark by Cam. Punched away at the last minute. Umpire didn't think he had it long enough.
Neither did I.
Going through forward, punched, knocked out of the way by McNamara. Kick forward.
Oh, he's got it!
Costello
Here they go, the Hill boys!
Bounces off his
Oh!
and runs into an open goal and kicks a typical Nick Costello goal, one that he's done probably hundreds of times in his career. What a good player he's been. And that's given the home side a bit of breathing space. They're 10-10-70. Thomson are 10-62. We're 23 minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter.
Well, put it in the book for Nick Costello, but Jordan Cam at 6'23" had his hands on it. Jordan Flacavento at 5'8" somehow got the ball away from him. Maybe it was a mark. Maybe he held on long enough. I didn't think so. Jordan Flacavento, take a bow, son, because that goal belongs to you, and it might be the winner.
It might very well be. It was a ripper.
It might not be, because this other mob, Thomson, they are not going to chuck it in. They haven't chucked it in all day, all year, and they won't chuck it in now.
There's a few blokes running on a few empty petrol tickets out there too, I reckon.
Oh, they're running up and down on the spot, some of these blokes.
So it's interesting now. A clearance from Thomson gives them a chance, but if Belpost Hill can win one, it might just sway things their way. As I said, we last quarter went just over 30. We've probably got 4 or 5 to go. So the ball in the middle of the ground. Handball comes out. It's going to be Plant. That'll put Thomson back into attack. Goes towards Gardner. Into the hands of Asika. He's tackled and was held up. And the umpire's going to come in and ball it up. So as I said, time now against the Thomson side. They need 2 to win the game of football.
What did the third quarter go for? 32?
Just over 31, I reckon, Grub.
By 6 there.
Yep, the ball comes down. Whitney taken high. Ball comes out in the contest. Barton, he's tackled. Umpire says that is high, so Jimmy Barton, a recipient of the free kick. Coaches are telling him to go far side of the ground.
He can hardly get up, Big Timmy.
Yeah, Ford's gone backwards, so I imagine he'll eventually use him. He's not even looking that way at the moment. He goes straight up the middle.
Oh, no!
Kick was poor.
Oh,
it
no!
may work out okay. It's going to go back and quickly, so it goes back to the forward line. Handball was intercepted, picked up there by Hecker. Ball comes out. Race is on. Ball running towards a boundary line, and I reckon that'll be the winner.
Well,
no one wants to get to it.
I reckon you've been a bit generous too. The handball intercepted. It looked to me like he handballed it straight down his throat. I don't know about intercept. It was a bad handball. They had all things going from then, Thomson, and he handballed straight down the Belpost Hill bloke's throat.
Okay, we've got to throw in now. Green has worked his way to the front of the pack. Muir, who's been a good serviceable player again today, slaps it forward for the Belpost Hill side. Ugis has got the ball
in the back.
Him. The umpire said he was in the back, and that is consistent with what they've done all day, and I have no trouble with it.
No, he only just touched him though. He tried to stop.
Gets the ball to Exel, hardly the right distance, but the umpire has said the tape measure said so. So Exel now plays on, kicks to true centre half forward. Pack of players develop. Ford comes out, can't hold the mark. Dylan Whitney for Belpost Hill, but a good servant in Barton. Barton back to Andrews. Andrews to Page. He kicks long down. That's a good attempt to mark there by Exel. Can't quite hold it.
Didn't have it.
Got the ball, but the umpire said it is young Sheedy.
Fair enough.
That's Mitch Sheedy, number 1, who has been given the free kick for holding. So he kicks the ball forward, pack of players again. Ford comes out and takes a very mark.
26 minutes. What happened to the 31-minute quarter? What is going on here?
So it's a 10-10-70 to 10-2-62 win to Belpost Hill. They had to work extremely hard to do so, and they come away with the points. What a ripper game. The Morris Finance final quarter, what a great way to finish a very good game. Grubby, you'll have plenty to say about this shortly, but Dale, give us some goal kickers and we'll head back to the studio for a little break while Richard Grubby Cations gathers his thoughts.
Yes, goal kickers for the home side, Belpost Hill. 2 each to Jaden Ettridge and Nick Costello. 1 to Page, Miller, Barton, Whitney, Ford and Fatella. And for the Thomson side, 2 each to Green, O'Connell and Cam. 1 each, Mead, Harding, Burke, Davis and O'Halloran. So we said 10-10-70, Belpost Hill will defeat Thomson 10-2. 62. Take a short break, come back, and we'll go through everything here this afternoon from Myers Reserve. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Belpost Hill Myers Reserve Oval. Before we have a look at this game, just quickly around the grounds. Inverleigh 85, Werribee are 15. So they haven't got away on the scoreboard, but they've been defensively strong. Bannockburn have won their lead back. They've kicked the last 2 goals. They're back to a 10-point lead now, 10-10-70, Geelong West 9-6. North Geelong have also wrested the lead back from Corio. They're 9-17. Corio are 9-7. It's a 10-point lead late in the game. 140-point leaders are East Geelong at the Winters Reserve, 5-11-41. East Geelong are 28 goals, 13. We've got the score here, 10-10-70 to 10-2-62, and Winchelsea at 21-13, 139, Anarchy 2-3, 15. Grubby's got his breath back after a very emotional final quarter. Grubby, what did you think about that?
Well, I wish I could go to the footy every week, sit in here and watch a game like that, because, look, there wasn't a lot of brilliant, classy football. But we come here today, I didn't think there was going to be. I thought it was going to be everyone having the greatest crack of all time to try and secure a final spot for 2022, and that's exactly what happened. There was nothing in the teams, between the teams all day. Thomson had the win coming home, and I know you two blokes thought Thomson would win, but I didn't. I just kept saying it's so close. It's been a close game all day.
Fair bit of man you are in here flying around, I'll tell you.
Oh dear me.
But look, the win didn't play a part. I know there was a win, but both sides were going at it that hard that it just didn't matter. A couple of things I noticed in the last quarter, in the third quarter, when Thomson had the ball down in the back pocket, James got it and he did his traditional 60-metre kick, and all of a sudden you're out of trouble. I reckon, and I know I'm wrong because they won the game, but I reckon Belpost Hill went defensive a touch early. They kept kicking back and had possession of the ball, and one little mistake there could have cost them the game, but then they went down, and as I said, Jordan Flacavento take a bow. I don't know how he got it away from that big bloke, but he did, enabled the Cozzy to kick the winner. It was just a fantastic game. Neither side deserved to lose, I don't reckon. Can Thomson make the finals now? Gee, I don't think they can. I hope that they're going to have to take a scalp now. And if I just project a little bit forward, they've got Winch next week where they should win, but then they've got East, Bannockburn and Inverleigh. They have to take one of those scalps, I think, because now they're a game and percentage behind Belpost Hill, who shouldn't probably win next week with East. Then they got Inverleigh and then Carrara and West. So it's still up for grabs. The fifth spot's still up for grabs, but Belpost Hill have to be favourite to take that now. Good on them for such a great game. And I tell you what, congratulations to the Thomson Footy Club, because they put up a great effort today as well.
They certainly did. It was a fantastic game, and doing votes is going to be very, very difficult.
I gave 3 to Belpost Hill and 2 to Thomson.
Yeah, and one to the umpires. One of the umpires for a great job too.
Actually, that was pretty good today. I didn't mind. I thought the game was umpired pretty darn well, and neither side could be complaining about that.
No.
It was a game full of errors. There was a lot of times where the players had opportunities to score, and there was terrible mistakes going to the forward line, but it's all about the pressure. But I'll start the ball rolling, and I'll get myself ready for a good dose of Richard.
No, you won't, because I don't even know who to give them to. So you won't get no ridicule. Well, you might.
Yeah, I might. I'm going to give one vote to Josh Andrews in the back.
Oh, what?
Who I thought was pretty good. Now, this is where it's going to get really funny, because there's going to be not hypocrisy, because I reckon I can justify it. I'm going to give 2 votes to Jordan Cam, who I thought did a really good job in the ruck, did a little bit around the ground, but the bloke that spent a bit of time against him was Tim Barton. And I thought Tim Barton's work to keep Cam under control when man couldn't, but also the work that he did when he was not in the ruck, particularly in that second quarter when he kept leading up and provided a lot of marking options for them in the middle of the ground. He was really strong in the last quarter. I thought Tim Barton was the best player on the ground.
Well, it's funny when you sit back and do it. Before you wrote them down, I've just written mine out before you said, and I've given 1 to Timmy Barton. I've given 2 to Jordan Cam. And I just thought the first half of football, I know to win games, you got to play 4 quarters, but I thought, I'm a Caleb Basley fan here. I just think his first half was extremely good. So I think that set it up for Belpost Hill. Not that the game was set up because it was just so close all day. So I've gone Barton, Cam and Basley.
Well, I had Cubby Basley to vote at half time.
Yeah, well, that's what I said.
I just couldn't give him a vote because he didn't touch the footy after half time. He just ran out of gas. I don't think he got 1 touch, did he, after half time?
Couple. There wasn't too
that's
many.
why I just couldn't give it to him. So you reckon there's going to be ridicule? Well, here's some ridicule for you. I gave 1 vote to Zane Jones, because I thought he was terrific all day.
That'd be Zach.
I gave 2 votes to Jordan Cam, because I thought he was fantastic all day. And 3 votes, Will Ford, is probably the greatest asset that Belpost Hill have got. And he finished up having to play up the back line because Maguire took him to pieces, made him look foolish sometimes, and I gave 3 votes to Travis Maguire for a magnificent job at fullback.
And
So-
I won't complain about that because I was going to give him a vote as well.
Well, there you go. So work that out.
Jordan Cam, 3 2s, 6.
Oh, shit. And everyone's witnessed it too. I can't change. Oh, wait till I tell you what, we're not doing Belpost Hill again. We are not doing Belpost Hill again this year. Even if they play in the elimination final. We're not doing it. Because Tari's going to go to town on me. But I'll get away with it because I'll say, I went Sable and these other idiots went Jordan Cam.
Yeah, we'll just say refer to the video.
Wow.
Oh, dear me.
Well, not often a losing side gets it. But the game was so close all day and even at the finish.
Yeah,
that-
it wasn't a standout play.
Yeah,
but I
even
thought
though Belpost Hill won on the scoreboard, all over the ground all day was a great game. So the losing team gets the
Well,
Yards
that's the way it
Hotel
mathematically
dinner for
works.
2. What round have we? I got the wrong cards.
We're 14.
Someone's knocked off me vote cards.
We might have had that last week at the Ragu. You and I grabbed it.
Well, after the West game.
straight across the road.
Oh, dear me. Well, that was sensational afternoon's entertainment. It's got cold, gentlemen.
It has got cold, hasn't it?
I know you'll be... I bet the people in the studio... Elvis is just chomping at the bit back there. So we might just quickly look at, unless you blokes have already made your mind up, are we going to see East Geelong play Belpost Hill next week? Or
No.
Are we going to
No.
see... well, it's the match of the game, match of the round.
What are the others?
Yeah, but Tari's going to be there. He's going to...
What are the other games?
Corio host Werribee.
No,
Bannockburn play Anarchy.
no,
Inverleigh play Belmont, who've been beaten by 140 points.
no,
Geelong West host North Geelong.
no.
And Thomson host Winchelsea.
No, we're going to East.
Yeah.
I think we're going to East a couple of times from now on in, though, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we've got East, and I think we might have them the week after as
'cause
well.
they,
wouldn't we?
now, the following week, Thomson host East. Inverleigh have Belpost Hill.
So that means we'll see them twice as well.
Then we have East Geelong hosting Inverleigh, which will be a big precursor for the finals, and Bannockburn host Thomson. And then in the last round, we have that really important game here where Belpost Hill will probably be playing for a spot in the 5, and Geelong West will probably be playing for a double chance.
Yep, sounds good to me.
So
East Geelong.
East Geelong next week. Gentlemen, Jules and the team, and thank you again, boys, for your superb support today. And I'll just do a quick around the grounds and see if we've got any final scores at those games where we were close. Inverleigh 13-13-91, defeated Werribee 4-6-30. That is an
Ooh,
official
they were
final
coming home
score.
hard.
It was final Bannockburn 10-10-70, Geelong West 9-6-60, so Bannockburn back into the top 3 if they weren't already. Corio almost did it. Corio 10-7-67, but North Geelong hung on 9-18-72.
9-18.
East Geelong still going. They are 28-13 to 5-11 against Belmont Lions. We've got the score here,
Told you
8-point
need to
win
put
to
that out of the
Belpost
misery.
Hill. And final score at Eastern Reserve Winchelsea, the Blues kicked 22 goals 13, 145 to defeat Anarchy, 2 goals 3-15. And in the GFL, there were a couple of games of interest there. I know Grubby was very keen. Colac 112, Dale's old side, Bell Park 43, Grovedale 80, Lara 74,
Ooh,
Newtown
wow.
106,
Who?
Newtown 100, Newton, sorry,
Yeah.
106, Geelong West 47, North Shore 32, St Mary's 90. That was 14-6-90 to 3-14-32, so it's 20 shots to 17. South Barwon failed dismally, 9-7-61, St Joseph's 13-11-89.
They're gone now, St Bale.
And St Albans 4-2-26, Leopold 19-16. And my old side, Mottawari, were in a tense struggle with Torquay. Grubby picked the upset.
They've won it, Motta.
Don't know yet. Trisdale 69, Ocean Grove 45. Geelong Amateurs were whooped by Queenscliff,
Don't matter.
50 to 104.
Don't matter. They're 10 points behind now. 6 points beyond.
And Mottawarri, sadly, 10-8-68, but Torquay come over the top of them with a wind in the last quarter, 12-12-84. Bowen Heads defeated Newcombe 101-34, and Port Arlington 30, Anglesea 141.
And let me just put you straight on that. I actually tipped Torquay. Johnny Mitchell went the upset for Mottawarri.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
I wasn't going to claim it till I heard the final score.
So we're off to East Geelong next week. They play Belpost Hill. They've had a huge win today, East, against the Belmont Lions, away from home, so they'll be primed. And Belpost Hill be wanting to build on what they achieved today, which was pretty darn good. It's not premiership form they displayed today, but they will compete in another final series, you'd think, unless Thomson can cause a boil over or two on the run home. And if they've got players coming back, although they probably won't get Brent McLeod till finals, will they?
Brent said this morning that if they make finals, broken finger or hamstring, regardless, he's playing.
Yeah.
And Jacko will be back.
Jacko's back. Sammy Jacko, how long?
Sammy Jacko's got a crook back, so I don't know how long he'll be.
And
but
Freeman obviously would be back, wouldn't he?
So they'll get a few back.
Yeah.
And a bit of class back too.
Yeah, that'll be helpful. Alan Mitchell, Robert Eagles, thank you very much back in the studio. The Elvis fans are queuing up. We'll let them go. We'll see you next week at East Geelong. This has been GDFL and Pulse FM Football, the home of football.
The home of local football.
Yeah, the home of local football. Back to you, boys.